Yo, it's a nice crib, man. You got a nice crib. You want to show me around? Oh, you got that nice hair.
Quality check.
God damn.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Blex.
I am Stuart.
And this is the first episode of Makes Too Much Sense. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Super excited. This is something that the inspiration for this was basically like we have so many podcast-worthy conversations either through text or in person, obviously. And I feel like everybody at some point has been like,
we can make money off this.
Podcast. We can make a podcast. Like, there's a reason why we have this fucking podcast and you don't, bitch, because you didn't buy the cameras and shit and set it up, so fuck you. There's the cursing in the first 10 minutes. But yeah, so makes too much sense. Do you want to talk about the name? The inspiration for that?
Yeah, so I go through a thing. I call it the phases of phrases.
Yes. I'm the worst with that. It's like one thing to say. Like lately, it's been Skippy Toilet because I've been looking at too much Instagram, and that's. I feel like now that we're 23, like
Skippy Toilet.
Skippy Toilet. You not know what that is?
No.
Don't worry. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. You're gonna hear me say it a bunch, but maybe we'll talk about
the
it.
peanut butter.
No, I don't even fully understand the origins. I just see like this one guy. Maybe we'll pull up a video of his because it's so funny. But he's like a YouTube Shorts, kids after 7 years. And he's like, and there's like a It's so funny. So it's stuck in my brain, Skippy Toilet, but it makes too much sense as something that we've been saying for a long time because it.
It started off at work when I was delivering cabinets. And when you're...
Oh god, that was such a funny job.
Yeah, it's not like blue collar, but it's like blue collar-esque
kind of. Lifting cabinets.
Yeah, and a lot of the people you like are with are like blue collar people, but like the place I worked at, like, it was just pretty dumb some of the times. Like, some of the stuff that they would do just wouldn't make any sense. So, like...
When you're trying to think, like, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
Or, like, why don't they do this?
Yeah.
And if there's no explanation for it, it probably makes just too much sense to do it.
Yeah,
That's basically where the name came from. We say that for a bunch of stuff. The thing that, in recent memory that we were saying makes too much sense is not fucking running, or QB draw, third down in the red zone. The first, like... 5 games of the season, 6.
Yeah.
For the Eagles, it was just like
it was up until on the way here we were talking about it, but up until the national media like didn't really like see it, so like there really wasn't that much pushback. But like I was like pulling my hair out for like 3 weeks, just like, oh my god, we are going to run a fucking QB draw on third and like +5 like 12, in the red zone.
3rd and 12 in the red zone.
And I get it because it's like I kind of get it because it's like we're not kicking a field goal.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna run a play on 4th down, so it's like whatever.
But we weren't gaining like a yard.
Yeah.
It was just like putting Jalen at risk, and then
I mean we
don't score.
I mean I think that's like the main reason why, like. Hold on. Before we go like all the way into the Eagles, oh fuck, I just completely brain farted.
Well,
but let's just go right into the Eagles.
We'll just go to the Eagles then. Yeah, we'll talk about we were going to talk about the setup first. We'll talk about that after this because it's actually something that we both are like still hot about because the QB draw is like. It was just so frustrating. I've said this when he was our offensive coordinator was fucking doing this every time. That it's like he's playing the Eagles on Madden. It's like, oh, like, what do I do? Like, is 3rd down? Like, give it to the best player, Jalen Hurts, and then it's not a fucking video game, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that was something that, like, if people were complaining about the tush push this season, people probably were complaining about Jalen Hurts being able to just escape like Houdini out of things that were, like, it was insane.
It was unfathomable. I mean, it's like, the only people in the league that can do it are Lamar Jackson, but he's
Josh Dobbs, apparently. Did you see that stat yesterday? Or, well, when was the game? What day is it? Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, he's got the 2nd most rushing yards.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Like, he's only behind Lamar Jackson. He's got more than Jalen Hurts this season. What the hell? For QBs? That's insane.
Well, I think this was, like, the point I was about to go into, but I think the reason why the, like, QB draws have stopped is because Jalen Hurts is injured with his fucking knee.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that, him getting up from, like, a sack that one, he got up, like, so slow, and I was just like, oh, Lord. Like, someone. Game, right? That was the last game, the Cowboys game.
I think Michael Parsons hit him. And, I mean, first of all, that's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And then,
just in general.
Second of all, like, and then he ran it the next play.
Yeah.
He like, almost limped off.
He was limping up to the line.
And then he ran it for a first down because he's a god, but I mean,
he was limping like up to the line for the next play. Yeah. I think he threw it the next play, and then after that he ran it again, and I was just like, oh god. Like,
those weren't necessarily, I don't remember exactly the play. I don't know if it was like a QB draw necessarily. I think he just like saw like 30 yards to the right and ran it. But yeah, I don't know.
Hold on.
I'm glad we've changed it.
Before we go anymore, do we have like a timer on this? Yeah. Oh wait, bottom right. You see that 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay.
We're almost 6 minutes into our first episode.
Yeah.
We don't know how long these are going to be, and it probably will vary a lot. I think we said our goal was like 1 to 4 hours, somewhere in that range. Just see how long we rant. I'm sure after like this, the Eagles are on a bye week right now. And
there'll be more.
There's probably gonna be a lot longer Eagles talks. We're gonna talk about the Eagles because we have to catch up on the whole season.
Yeah,
we have to catch up on the whole season. So, but I think this is a good time to start talking about. So we hit the name. Let's talk about why we're calling the studio that we're currently in, which is my dad's basement, the Gunk Lounge. We'll talk about like what's around us first, because some of the things were already here. Like this pretty sweet. Neon sign. Heineken. Love that.
Heineken.
This is a shirt that I got from the Sixers game. We got a Bradledge bobblehead right here. Flying Hawaiian. The hat is chipped. I dropped it when I was younger. That was unfortunate. And then I got Aaron Nola bobblehead. Or not. I don't even know if this is a bobblehead. It probably is.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's still in the box because it's going to be worth a lot of money someday, obviously. And then do you want to talk about what's in front of you right there?
Yeah, so all this stuff is Alex's, but I will bring my Sunday Red Tiger Woods Funko Pop, so that'll be my shit.
Yeah.
But this is Mr. Graham, signed the helmet.
BG.
It's like plastic and shit on the inside, but either way, my head wouldn't fit. Yeah. I have a gigantic noggin, so... Yeah, no real padding.
It's not a real helmet, unfortunately.
That's fucking
concussion.
Right, that's concussion central. I have my laptop in front of me. Yeah. Shout out, never buying a laptop. And I, as Alex said before the episode, I have a great fear of being dehydrated.
It's like you have like a phobia of like
slightly
dehydrated.
Body armor. I will fucking die if we ever get a sponsorship by them. Yeah. I love these things with all my goddamn heart.
Any brands listening right now to the first episode, please sponsor us. It'd be cool to make money and do this, but that again, like we just kind of part of the Gunk Lounge was we just wanted something like where we just get all the gunk out of our brain out and record it because some of it is pretty funny or interesting, and
we hope so.
We just want to record it for ourselves, and two, maybe other people find it interesting, so we'll see.
Yeah. So, obviously, Philly-based, as you can see by the blanket behind us. Not me. I did not go to the state of Penn, and I disavow all of their actions, their football team. Just say.
We just fired our offensive coordinator, so better days ahead, I'm hoping.
Well, you should have fired one a long time ago. Very early.
James Franklin is now...
Joe Pa knew.
Joe Pa.
That's all I know. Joe Pa knew.
James Franklin just lost to Michigan in terrible fashion. Hard to put it all on him, although he did make some questionable... I don't want to talk about Penn State too much because honestly, I don't really
I watched it, so...
Yeah, I watched it too. And it was... there were some questionable plays, like the 2-point conversions I understand. Like it felt like, and I said this when I was watching the game, it felt like James Franklin thought he had the Philadelphia Eagles offense out there against Michigan. Because he was doing we went for 4th down on our own 30, and shocker, didn't go very well.
Drew Aller stinks.
Look, he was a 5-star recruit, so take that however you will. And he's also 19, and this is his first year starting. He's a sophomore, so I'm not ready to can him yet.
Redshirt sophomore? Is he 2 years in the program?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was back up to Sean Clifford. Shout out Sean. He's back in. I thought he was going to take over for Jordan Love, but he kind of scrapped together. Did they win, Packers?
Shit.
I don't know.
No. They lost. They lost, yeah.
Well, he had 2 good touchdown passes that game, so I was waiting for him to suck it up, and he did for most of the game. And I was like, maybe Sean. I have Sean and Clifford in Dynasty too, so I'm excited for that. But
shout out Jameis Winston.
Yeah, oh my god.
Shout out Jameis Winston.
I mean, I was thinking, like, I was watching the game with one of our friends that is a Saints fan, and obviously I was making every funny comment I could think of at the time. But when Winston came in and in like 4 passes got more passing yards than Derek Carr the whole game, and that was like what, the third quarter when he came in. So hilarious. Leave it to Jameis Winston to also find a way to throw a 50-yard touchdown pass on the 20 or whatever it was.
Across the field.
That was ridiculous.
Dude,
could you imagine if one of the Eagles quarterbacks did that? How mad we would be. Like,
we saw it. It was Carson Wentz.
I guess so.
That's literally all Carson Wentz's career was. It was just. Do you remember that one play where he was literally like parallel to the ground and he still threw it?
Oh yeah.
Like that, he completed it, and so did Jameis, which was insane. But those quarterbacks, they're like fun to have. Like especially when you're a team like the Saints, to where you have the best. It's like them, like they're doing it right, to where the Jets are doing it wrong. Like the Jets are not fun on offense, and the Saints weren't with Derek Carr. But if you have Jameis Winston in there starting every game, you can throw up. He can throw up 21 points. He'll throw 3 interceptions, but he'll
minimum 3. Not
he had 2 when he came.
3.
No, it was 2.
I thought he finished the game with 3.
Yeah, it was even. It was even touchdowns and interceptions, but
he still managed to throw 2 picks in like a quarter. And a half, so like,
yeah.
If he played the full game, I can only imagine. I mean, I wonder like percentage wise, like in terms of like games started and like picks, if he's got like the highest percentage, because that one season was that with the Bucks when he was just like he was like 4 picks a game, but he was still like
I think he was a flat even. It was definitely insane. 30 interceptions. I know he had 30 touchdowns.
30 interceptions, like.
But
if you're a Bucks fan, like, do you even get upset when it's a pick? You're like, ugh.
No,
it's like an incompletion. It's like, darn, shoot.
As long as I mean, Josh. I don't know if Josh Allen is still leading the league in interceptions, but he's top 3.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing about his interceptions that make it fine is the arm punts.
Oh yeah.
Like the interceptions are like 50 yards down the field, so like who cares really that much?
Yeah, it's who cares, but also I think his biggest criticism this season is like before is like, oh, who cares? He's still a great quarterback, but this time like they've been losing games they shouldn't have, and also like he's done the arm punt on like where you're like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
There's some like third and 3s that he does the arm punts, while it's just like we could have gone for it, which is like
Stephon Diggs within 10 yards. I feel like is a lock.
Yeah.
So
not
what are you doing?
Gabe Davis or
Geronimo Davis.
Geronimo Davis. But that dude, I mean, that Saints fan that we're talking about, I feel like when I say like start Jameis, he's like saying that as like I want to see the Saints lose, even though like that's legitimately, I think that's how they win.
Oh no, yeah.
That's like
it's ridiculous that Derek Carr, like, he should have been benched like 4 games ago.
Yeah, like I don't know why they didn't like fully heal the shoulder injury. Like he was just out for like a quarter, and then was back the next week.
How much did they pay him? Was it a lot? Like probably enough for somebody with his like experience and whatever, but.
I don't think it was. I think it was less than Daniel Jones, and he's 40.
Dude, talk about Daniel Jones. The Giants, like the entire Giants fan base, should be on suicide watch this season because I mean, holy shit. I said
it. I don't know if I said it to you, but I said it when I was at work. I was just like, bye weeks are the best. Oh, you can't
when
lose.
You're 8-1.
Yeah,
and you just beat the Cowboys. You're just like,
But even if you're like in a place like I think the Lions, like, they got smoked by the Ravens, and then they had their bye week.
Oh, my God, yeah. That was crazy.
Like, even that, you're just like, all right, well, that can't happen again this week, so it's nice to have a bye. But the Lions came out, and they fucking... I mean, that was the best game of the week. The Chargers-Lions, like, they just went... I had...
blow for blow.
Yeah, I had the Lions minus 2.5, I think. So, like, that field goal was nice at the end, but I just kept seeing it go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was just like, what the fuck?
Probably game of the week.
But it was crazy that, like, that's the Chargers every single week. Like, there was no, like, when you saw that score and you didn't know what teams they were, you just knew, all right, the losing team was the Chargers. Like, there's, like, if you just saw that, if I saw that score, I would.
It does feel like they just, like.
They put up 30 points but still lose, and the head coach, Brandon Staley, who's a big fat he's a skinny idiot, but he's a big dumb idiot. He fucking is a defensive coach. And he can't call defenses.
I feel like the Chargers,
and they've had him for 4 years.
The Chargers
like 4 years
has always been sleeper bad because they literally have Joey Bosa. I guess like
they're the best worst team in the NFL every year.
Yeah.
Like it
feels like
automatic.
The Jets the Jets offense is just like has the under hit every game for them?
I think so.
We'll have to look up. We don't have a Jamie to like look this up.
Dude, it was. Do you know what it was last night? The over under.
What?
35.5. And it hit.
That's insane.
It hit with like 26 points. It was awesome, but
of course.
I fucking see that shit like all the time, and I couldn't imagine. Like, is there? I mean, obviously, I listen to Part of My Take a lot. Shout out, but they did like a bleakish draft, and for like NFL teams and like their future, and they had like the Panthers won, which is very true.
Yeah.
They suck, and but then
shout out Stroud Boys.
It's Stroud Boys, stand up.
Even though
we are right.
When I played you in our ESPN league or 10-man league, I mean, it was gonna be it was a close game. That was a game where you had Kenneth Walker and I had Charbonnet, and I was like, they're going punch for punch, and they did. I mean, they both scored like
2 points,
which was hilarious, and I was right about that.
Yeah.
And then I had Nico Collins, and you had Tank Dell, and I was like,
Dank Smell.
Dank Smell, yeah. I was calling him Dank Smell all week, and then him and Stroud put up 80 points combined. That was awesome. That's like, and then I think he had Colts defense too that just randomly got 27.
Oh yeah.
So that was just like.
Dude, the Colts.
That's how it goes.
The Colts defense is so weird, and that they'll let up like 30 points, but then also like have like 2 fumble recoveries and an interception.
I feel like the Colts defense and the Bucks defense are pretty similar, and like if you look at the roster, like they're good. But something's missing.
What's missing is Tom Brady. Like,
oh yeah, Tom Brady. Like, Baker Mayfield's been doing somehow. Like this has been the worst fantasy year, or like honestly in general for quarterbacks, like ever. Like, it's actually kind of sad. Like the best quarterback for fantasy at least has been Jalen Hurts, because he had one 14-point game and that's it.
I think it's Jalen Hurts and like Jared Goff.
Yeah, and like even I have him in one of the leagues, and he even like kind of let me down some weeks. So, like,
yeah,
and not that everyone's perfect, but like as far as like people having like normal quarterback seasons, like Josh Allen's back. Lamar Jackson's picking it up, even though sometimes they'll score like 40 points and Lamar will have 12.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is. It's like when I remember McCaffrey's lowest scoring game was against the Cowboys, but that was because they absolutely demolished them.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So yeah, I mean, quarterback position this season is something's going on. Tom Brady being out of the league for more than 2 years. I mean,
and
everyone forgets how to play quarterback.
I think even like for some reason people that have to like play from behind, like they're the best like fantasy QBs to have this year. Like Sam Howell is fucking awesome.
Oh my god, yeah. Like
he's great to have in fantasy because he will start the game, and at halftime he may have like 5-6 points, but he's going to finish with 15 to 20.
Yeah, he's been actually somehow one of the better ones.
Yeah,
and Baker Mayfield are the surprises
because they always have to play from behind.
Absolutely.
So
Baker also like, I feel like the Commanders like before the trade where they lost Sweat and Chase Young. We're like a good team.
Yeah,
their secondary.
They still kept it close with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Like they were like in control of that game most of the time.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch too much of that game because I have Geno Smith too, and I'm tired of watching him. He's got like probably a top 3 wide receiver core.
Yeah,
and just remembered he was like 55 this season, I guess, compared to last season, and has been
Yeah.
Just terrible.
I have like I feel like I have like a couple teams that every week I just look at and I'm just like I need to bet on this team. And it's for every week it's Houston, which has been awesome. They were 6.5 yesterday, and I thought to myself, I was like, dude, they're gonna win this game. And I almost did money line, but I was just like, no, let's keep it safe. But who is it? Houston. It used to be the Seahawks, but now the Seahawks fucking suck. Geno Smith can't do anything, and then it was the Rams until Stafford got hurt.
Yeah.
So the
Rams are also whack. I don't know what's going on with them.
Their entire team is Matthew Stafford. Yeah. That's a problem.
Matthew Stafford and the person he has chosen that week to be like the only person he can see when he drops back.
Bruh.
And they get like at least 13 targets. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think if you look at it, I think they're like the whitest team in the NFL. No wonder why they're weird.
I also forgot that like the Chargers. I mean, this is kind of a no duh thing, but it took me like this season to remember that the Chargers and the Rams have the same home stadium, SoFi. Which people don't really think about. Like, I guess not a lot of it. I thought like,
I don't think about that at all.
I figured people knew that because it's like LA.
Yeah.
But they just play in the same stadium.
I think the first year they moved to LA, I think one of them played in the Coliseum.
That might be why I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I think the Rams did.
Who did it? I think the Rams moved there. Did they move at the same year?
I have no idea.
I forget.
I have no idea. That's something that like. The fact that it took me this long to realize, I was like, wait, why are they playing in SoFi?
I
looked it up and I was like, oh.
I definitely knew that at one point, but now I've just completely forgotten that. Yeah. But
who cares about the Rams?
Yeah, but you put in Eagles that are shining, Eagles that need to do better, and
should we start with the shining Eagles?
Yeah,
right now?
I mean,
we'll start with the offense.
The offense?
I mean, it's pretty obvious number one right now.
Jeff, I tweeted this, and I tweet to 0 followers, so no one really does anything with it. But
you're gonna have 1 million now, all of our viewers.
Jeff Stoutland, our offensive line coach, he needs a government Medal of Honor. He is the best offensive line coach ever. Except for that one fat guy on the Browns. You remember that? What's that thing called where they go behind the scenes and he has that really big gut and he would go sit up
God,
up and down.
Hard Knocks or something.
Hard Knocks, that's what it's called. Yeah. It was Hard Knocks. But
that I love that. That's the only thing I know about him. I didn't realize that was the Browns.
That was the Browns.
That was. It's like the speaking of skibbity toilet, it's like the skibbity dope, yes. Whoop. Love those videos too. That's something that I just need to stop. That's when I know I'll watch 3 of those, and then I'll regain consciousness after scrolling on Instagram, and I'm like, oh Jesus,
okay.
What am I doing?
I got to do something.
Yeah, I need to
with my life.
Yeah, I need to start a podcast or something. But shining Eagles. I mean, AJ Brown. Holy shit, probably the best Eagles wide receiver ever. It's looking like it. He's well on his way to be that good.
I love Deshaun Jackson, but
but also, I mean, the Eagles
that was Chip Kelly. All right, that wasn't the Eagles. That was Chip Kelly trying to fucking. He was trying to start propaganda about that we need to change the college football, and it was just buddy, that's not gonna fucking work. People.
How long was he the head coach? You look that up.
Maybe 3 years.
Yeah, it felt like 3.
But I think Jeff Stoutland was even there then. But the fact that we took Jordan Mailata.
3 seasons, yeah, 3.
3 seasons? Yeah, that's what I thought. But and then Mr. Doug. Shout out Doug.
Dougie P.
Even though the Jags got whooped. But
yeah, that'll happen. I was
Who is that? The 49ers? The 49ers were just pissed off. That's the only thing I think of that game. That was... I think I said that to you. It was the 49ers were pissed off that people were saying that they're not good.
Yeah.
And the Jags were just oh, no. This sucks. So you can say, what are they, the AFC South? I mean, Houston may take that fucking division.
I don't even know who's in that division.
It's the Jags, Houston, and I don't know the other two. But
Jags, Houston, Colts, Titans. So,
yeah.
That is theirs to take.
Houston could easily take that.
The Colts being 5. Let's talk about real quick. I said this to our Saints fan friend when we were watching the games yesterday. How about the Steelers being 6-3? Like, what the hell? Who have they played? Like,
that's my new favorite.
I want to pull up their schedule.
That's my new favorite team to bet on, just simply because
against them, hopefully.
No, for them, dude.
Really?
Because whenever the spread is more than 6, if it's more than 6, if the Steelers are -6, bet against the Steelers. But if the Steelers are like within 3, you always bet the Steelers. I mean, that's preseason.
Yeah,
So they started off, got smoked by the 49ers.
Where is that? Oh, right here.
Yeah. And then
it's so weird. Okay.
And then the AFC, what is it? Is that that's AFC North?
They beat the Browns. This was the game that Nick Chubb, rest in peace. That was tragic. That's the tragedy of the season still.
Bro, Isaiah Pacheco, Kenneth Walker, Bijan Robinson, and Nick Chubb. I had the 4. I would have had
tragic.
the 4 best running backs in the league, but he decided to die.
So, I mean, they beat some good teams. Like the Browns.
The Raiders suck.
The Raiders, I mean, they're good. I'm curious how they do now that...
That was Houston's coming out party.
That was Houston. That was Stroud Boys.
They
beat the Ravens?
Yeah, that was an ugly
I mean,
game.
I feel like Steelers-Ravens is always just like
the
a low-scoring slugfest.
Yeah.
Like, there's at least 2 fights.
That's an AFC North.
Yeah. I mean, the Rams, they suck.
I mean,
I don't
know.
We'll see. The Rams need, like, they can be good. I think with Kyron Williams coming back, hopefully off of IR, I mean, maybe they'll bring back the run game.
The next 2 games are going to suck for them. The Steelers and the Bengals.
Yeah.
And then...
Or the Browns and the Bengals.
Browns and... Yeah, the Steelers. The
Steelers are playing soon.
Very smart.
When's their bye week? That already happened? I guess it's not showing up here.
No, it won't show up, but... I know that. I think they already did have their bye. Yeah. Hold on, wait. October. Yeah. In between October 8th and October 22nd.
Yeah.
So whatever week that was. I think that was the first week of buys. They had the first week. But, yeah, Jeff Stoutland turning Jordan Mailata, 7th round pick rugby player, into the best left tackle of the league. That is why he's the GOAT.
Oh, yeah.
And then even... I didn't like Opeta playing.
Was he the one that came in for Lane when he twisted his ankle?
No.
That was Driscol.
That was Driscol.
That was
Driscol sucks.
Driscol actually, like, there's a whole highlight reel of him just, like, terribly missing blocks.
Yeah, he got vertical with the ground one play because he got thrown down so badly. Like, he stunk. And then Opeta came in at guard because it was Lane, and then Lane came back, and then
he didn't come back for that game.
No.
Wait,
he came back the next
week.
game. And Cam Jurgens is out right now. Really? He's the other guard.
Geez,
yeah, so that's who Opeta was in for.
Steen, the right tackle. Which one's on the interior?
The guards on the interior.
So the guard.
You got all the fucking football fans are gonna come at you.
Well, keep in mind, I'm just like a viewer of football. And
yeah.
Over like really watching the NFL for probably like 6 years now.
Yeah.
I just also listening to you because you played high school football and you were center. Center. What am I saying? You had 62 like our center.
Yeah, Jason Kelce,
sexiest man alive. He got robbed.
Yeah. Did he not win that? I saw he got nominated. I saw he got nominated.
Yeah, I saw he got nominated, and then I saw a post that it was actually Travis Kelce.
Oh, what?
And I was like,
no.
Yeah, but
no.
It wasn't.
I saw a photo shoot.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I just saw a post that it was like, oh, look, Travis, sexiest man alive. I'm sure the Swifties just fake news that one. But, yeah.
Yeah. I would preferably love to never talk about that blonde woman in this fucking podcast.
Look, as far as like we'll keep this brief, but as far as like my opinion on like all the Taylor Swift stuff and being an Eagles fan, we're just kind of dragged into it kind of unwillingly, I would say.
Yeah. I don't listen to New Heights a lot, but if you listen to New Heights,
yeah. They make fun of it. Like it's not like they're like,
dude, don't talk about my girlfriend, bro.
They're not like that, but they're also not like leaning into it where it's like half the episode. They'll be like, "Hello, Swifties," or something like that. But as far as like my opinion on all of it, like I understand. I mean, if you're like, it's obviously everything's the biggest motivation is money. Yeah. So like whatever. Like, is it kind of annoying? Yes. Am I up in arms about it? No. Do I think like I like Taylor Swift's songs? I just think her fan base is incredibly obnoxious. So now I'm sure nobody's going to watch this podcast now that I said that. But that's the only like I feel like there's the fan base is a little bit
but the thing
aggressive.
Is, like, I mean, the money's nice and all that stuff. Did you know that her dad is like, I think we talked about this before. Her dad like owns a trucking company. No. You know how she has like one of the big stories about her was she for Christmas last year she gave like all of her bus drivers like $100K.
Yeah.
That's her dad's workers.
Really?
Yeah, her dad.
Well, I think she
owns that company.
She gave like everybody that worked on her tour like $100K bonus at least.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I mean, she also made like $2 billion off of that tour, which is insane. It's like 100. If she gave everybody $500K, that'd still be like 2% if that of her total income with that.
Yeah, but that's like.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I knew that the only thing I knew about like her background was she grew up on a Christmas tree farm and is from PA.
Yeah.
Kind of close to where we are right now, like Downingtown area. So.
I mean, I think she was like I think she was like middle PA more, but
the middle of PA besides State College is actually a complete mystery to me. Anyways, I mean, who knows what goes on there?
Yeah, that's.
We were saying a couple weeks ago that like I don't even know how this came up. We're like, does anything happen in South America? Anything? I mean, the last like video I saw of something happening in South America was when Messi won the World Cup.
Oh, we just saw it. They have a fucking volcano going off.
Yeah. Just before we started recording, Nolan pulled up a video of a volcano going off in Mexico. That like, is that even South America?
Yeah,
I guess so. Does it start there?
I think no. Mexico is still considered North America.
Is Mexico South America?
I think it's Canada, U.S. Mexico, so North America, and then South
Google says Mexico, it lies firmly in North America, so it's not even up for debate. We are dumb for even thinking that it's South America. But yeah, we should also try, one of the bits that I wanted to do is maybe if we do a drinking episode later on, that we should try to fill in a blank map of the United States, because I think I would get 40 of them. I think like, between the two of us, I bet we could get it, but I mean, if I did by myself, I probably would not be able to do it.
This is what I do. I just remember, like I just pick a state that is, like, bordered by, like, every single state in that area, and then you just memorize what's around that state, and then you just fill in from there. So it's, like, for me, it's PA for Northeast, and then I do South Carolina, and then I do Colorado, and then I just kind of know like the Michigan area. So I don't think it would be. I think it would be like pretty hard.
Whoa.
Like at the end of the day. Yeah, we don't need to order one. But yeah.
Oh yeah, the thing that
I would get stuck here.
Oh yeah, that's probably the hardest section, the Southeast, and then something that like. I couldn't believe, because this is why I even thought of this, was that Montana is touching Canada.
Oh, yeah, Since when?
Since when is that?
We talked about that. That's crazy. That was fucked up, first seeing that.
People also forget, like, Wisconsin getting totally cucked by Michigan there. Like, honestly, I'd love to, we should look up, like, if we do, like, a history segment, we should look up, like, what the hell happened there with Wisconsin. Battle. Like, did they lose, like, a bet or something? Because that actually makes no friggin' sense. Maybe if they put, like, a bridge between the two, that'd be kind of cool, but that bridge would probably be like 50 miles long or something. Yeah, I think that would be something fun. I mean, now looking at it, it seems super easy, right? But then like Idaho, I mean, I just know what Idaho looks like, but as far when I try to picture a map of the United States, like Iowa, I thought I could have easily said Ohio was Iowa. If we didn't live right next to Ohio in Pennsylvania, then I might be stuck. And then like the order of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, that one I don't know if I'll be able to remember that by the time we actually get around to doing this.
The Vermont, I just know Vermont's a V, shaped like a V, kind of.
That's a good. Oh yeah, that's a perfect trick. There you go. Do you remember like in elementary school, did they ever be like, "What did Delaware?" New Jersey.
Got him. It's something I think about. It's like we're like all the way on the East Coast, like basically touching the Atlantic.
Like you would think that we would get some ocean, right? But no. We completely landlocked. That'd be a good trivia question that only we would get. As if people from Pennsylvania would know this, maybe I don't know. Yeah. Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, but we are completely landlocked. I mean,
but the thing that I always think about is like I think Philadelphia. You're talking about like sports markets. It's like up there. It's like it's Boston, New York, Philadelphia. What's another city that has all four? Boston? I think Minnesota. I think I said Boston. Boston, New York, Philadelphia. There are a couple more, but the thing that I kind of noticed is just like for practical reasons, I feel like it would be best to be like Colorado or like Kansas. Yeah, let me put this back up. Just so like, like you gotta like, bro, like if you're not playing on the East Coast, like let's say you have to go out to California, bro, that's 6 hours. That's gotta suck. Like, that's gotta suck. In comparison to Colorado, to where like each way is like 3 or 4 hours, so like it's not that bad. But like, and same goes for the opposite. If you're California, I feel like California would suck more just because there's so many more teams East Coast, especially football.
Talk about like two states that are like ridiculous with the number of teams. Well, I guess maybe 3. I mean, California. Yeah. They have 2 football teams. Wait, 3. 3 NFL teams.
What?
Chargers, Rams, 49ers.
Yeah.
And then New York, same thing. Buffalo, Jets, Giants.
Well, they're New Jersey, but
I guess so. Yeah, but still. And then Texas, but like Texas is so big, like.
And Houston's kind of like a new team too. So.
And like Texas, I mean, I've never been. I'd love to go, but I've heard that it's kind of like its own like country almost down there.
I say in some regards. They still want to be. They still. I think they regard themselves as their own country. Yeah,
it's a good segue is talking. Remember we were talking about like what the United States should do. Like, why don't we add more states? And what states should we create first? I think first we should go for Iceland, Greenland. When Trump said that shit, I was like, everyone made fun of him, but I was like, why not though?
Because there's no point.
I know, but like people said that about Alaska.
There was a point though. They had oil and shit.
Did we know that back then?
Yes.
Then why did Russia get rid of it? I feel like if they knew, maybe they still have a lot of oil, I guess, but
yeah, because they have.
I would know.
I mean, I don't even think they have. I don't know enough about Russia to be. All I know is about Russia is shout out the boy Tom Aspinall for beating the fuck out of Sergey Pavlovich. I thought it was gonna go Sergey's way, so lost some money there.
When was that fight?
That was this weekend.
That was this weekend?
Yeah, it was the one before.
I only watched.
Boydan!
I only watched the Pereira fight.
Oh my god, he's the best. The best.
Early stoppage, but I mean,
it was.
It probably saved Yuri's brain.
The thing is, Yuri's such a good guy. Like he
what a class act when he lost. He was wanted to cry. It seemed like
he gave up the belt when he broke his shoulder.
Yeah,
and
like, I'll be back. Everyone's
bitching Jamal. I think it's just Jamal. For he was acting like a bitch after the fight. He was just like, "Oh, not the real champ," blah blah blah. And it's just like, dude, shut up. Like you did. Like,
is that the guy that was doing the crown thing? Who was that?
I think was he black?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was him.
I honestly, the UFC is something that I'm also just starting to get into. Like, I know the big names.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to I know a good amount about certain fighters, but I don't have the same depth as you. I think playing the UFC.
Playing UFC, and then also I do. It's the same thing with WWE. You know, got shit, and NWO. For life, you know, it's the same thing with WWE for me, to where in a lot of things it's just like once when I find like one thing interesting, I just have to know everything about it just so I could like keep up on it. So like the UFC, like I started at like freshman year of college mostly, and then like from there I was just like, let me watch like every single UFC main event for ever since it existed. And that's how that's how I got like most of my like UFC knowledge, was just like I just watched like all.
I also feel like growing up watching the WWE, which you did and I did not, unfortunately. Now, looking back, I wish I did, because you sent me some of the funniest clips. I think like the two of the most memeable, like I guess like shows you could say ever all time. Like you got SpongeBob sitting at number 1, and then right back like behind it is the WWE. Like how many clips from either one of those shows? Like I'm sure like every second of a SpongeBob episode exists on probably just YouTube as like a 3-second clip. Like every little clip of SpongeBob. And WWE at this point is like, I feel like every...
Within the past, what was the past week? I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Like everyone went off. I think they're still using it. They're like Vince McMahon of him like crying and going like
this. Like, that's the new big one.
Like Vince McMahon, like obviously bad guy. Vince McMahon. I think we can say that with a fact.
We should do a Vince McMahon episode, because I actually don't know what makes him such a bad guy. The only thing I know about him is what Hulk Hogan said about him on the JRE.
Well, let me tell you something, bro. But he's just I think the term for it is sexual deviant. Oh, wow. And uses his power for not great.
No. Are you serious?
I mean, if
somebody abuses their power for their sexual exploits,
I mean,
that might be the first person in history.
Facts. But if you like go back and watch like the old like WWE's like now the women's division is like very like good. A lot of people are saying like they can actually like do a lot of like great stuff, but like back in the day it was just like, show me your titties. And it was just like, oh. But I mean, there's obviously, I mean, even like with the UFC, like Mackenzie Dern was fighting, and I was just like like what's happening there? But yeah, that thing can shit. But yeah, the UFC is just great for me, just because I find it pretty like mindless, just because like it I feel like it's like literally just like the base. It takes us back to like the days of like primal, like primal like Roman just
Colosseum.
Like, just like you're watching just like the most basic like human form of like dominance. Sports. Of just like, I can beat the fuck out of you. So like
it's awesome. And I think the best part about the UFC, like, and I was talking to somebody that doesn't know anything about the UFC, and they're like, oh, like I can't watch it. Like a lot of people that don't like the UFC, I feel like say they don't want to watch that stuff because it's like, oh, like it's just two people beating the crap out of each other. And that's part of it, but the big part of it, and what gets people so fired up and why like it's getting so big lately, is because of the stories. Like you learn each fighter's like whole life story, and if you keep up with it, you see like the progression, the things that they've had to overcome to get to this particular fight, the injuries, the fights prior, the division that they're in, and like how hard it is depending on like, the weight class. And it's more about like the story of the person that makes it like 10 times more enjoyable to watch. Otherwise, it's just like you get the same crap on YouTube, just watching two people in the street beat the shit out of each other. That's entertaining for a little bit. But
shout out Street Beefs.
Yeah, Street Beefs. Oh my god,
that's
prime YouTube poop.
Yeah, the one video, the one guy who's like in a full like gi, and he's just like, he's like a white fat dude, and he's just like, I am of and then like everyone's just like making fun of him basically. And you could like hear him in the background like making fun of him, and then he does like they start fight, and he does a leg kick. You need to look up this.
I don't know.
This
video. What do I even look up for this though?
It would be Street Beef's guy. I don't know how to
how do you spell gi?
I don't know. I think it's a GUI. Gi. But
It'll just pop up.
It's nah. You definitely need to look up something specific. But yeah, the stories are. I mean, the most like the number one story. Prison moments. The most important. I mean, not like important, but the most like well known story now is Francis Ngannou. Obviously, won the fight against Tyson Fury, but
oh my god, yeah.
Just like how he's a like.
Why does anyone watch boxing anymore? It's as if it couldn't get any more obvious that it's all rigged.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And like his whole story of being like I think he was an actual like mine slave basically. So like he was just in the mines all day, like sand
oh yeah,
mines.
like he was mining and he was in the salt mines from like an early age, and that's how. I mean, that's literally like what's the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where it's like Conan the Barbarian or something like that?
Oh, I've never seen that one.
What is that called? I actually want to get that right. But yeah, basically, like, the start of that movie is Arnold is, like, a child, and he's pushing, like, you ever seen those things where it's, like, a wheel that, like, a donkey or something will be, like, pushing in a circle just endlessly? That's, like, what he did in the movie, and that's, like, what made him so big and strong, basically.
Yeah.
If memory serves, I haven't seen that movie in forever. Let me see. I think it's Conan.
But I think...
The Barbarian. Conan the Barbarian.
I think that's one thing that's great about this show, and just kind of like about our conversations in general, is we fucking rarely stay on topic. Oh, no, so we started off with the Eagles, and now we're on to the UFC.
Back to that? I'm down for that. Wait,
what?
Should we go back to the Eagles? Because I'd love to talk about the Eagles, obviously.
I could, just because there are a couple things that I definitely like want to fucking say is...
I know we skipped over like the stars. We
said
we'll go back.
Yeah, we said. I mean, Jalen Carter. I was saying Jeff Stoutland like making the offensive line amazing per usual. He should get like a Medal of Honor. I rarely see Derek Barnett, and I'm happy that I don't. He's a fucking worst.
Yeah, I kind of forgot he was on the team.
I did
and
too.
You said that he gets a lot of penalties, and
he goes offsides once a game.
I remember he did it once. I don't remember what game. It was earlier in the season, but that was like I literally was like, oh, he's still on the team. And then like look, he'll always have. I've heard rumors that he's a bit of a dickhead, and I think in the preseason, one of the preseason fights that we had, it was
him.
He started it, which is like whatever, that's fine. But I mean, he's always going to have a warm place in my heart because of that fumble recovery in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. That was awesome.
Well, that's the thing. It was a recovery.
Yeah.
It's not like he actually did anything.
Yeah, he didn't do anything, but it also just bounced in such a perfect way. Like, that ball was out for, like, 0.8 seconds.
Yeah.
It hit the ground and
was
he's like,
his lap.
Just right into his lap, and he caught it. So, I guess credit to him there.
Shout out.
But that was more BG.
But I saw the 96. I just saw the 96 on the field, and I was just like, dear God, please tell me that's someone else.
I remember when we were talking about like what the Eagles were going to do before the trade deadline, I was like, let's trade him.
Yeah.
I would be okay with trading him for like, I mean, I'm glad we got a good safety. That was something that we definitely needed.
I don't know why we hype up the NFL trade deadline every year. Like, nothing happens. I mean, the biggest thing was fucking Josh Dobbs, and like... that was a 5th round. No. I'm an idiot. The Commanders went fire sale on their defensive line. So
I mean,
that is something.
They did have one of the better defensive lines until that point, but it wasn't doing anything for them because like
that team needs to be good. They need to set a deadline for like 10 years from now. They're gonna fire.
Trust the process.
Yeah, literally. They're gonna fire Ron Rivera. They're gonna.
I kind of like him.
He is such a dumb face. I hate him.
I like him because he always loses to the Eagles.
He always puts up a good fight against the Eagles.
Yeah. Talk about like touching back on Sam Howell. We will get to the Eagles eventually.
Yeah.
But I mean, every single like the 2 games this season, like he looked like it was his first time playing quarterback against the Bills, and then turns into Tom Brady against the Eagles every time. It's actually so annoying. Thank God we beat them. But
that's a Super Bowl every year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I mean, we were saying the secondary like needs to get better, but I was just And
for the Commanders or for the
Eagles.
For the Eagles, yeah.
And I think there's like the whole shift in the NFL of the past 5 years is just like, oh, pass. You need a pass on every single down, blah, 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 blah. But now defenses are just playing so back, and they're just like, we're not letting up the big plays. Like, if you can get we will let you go downfield, but we will not let you get, like, over, like, 30 yards
we'll let you have, like, play. A 14-play drive.
Yeah.
Which is actually worse because, like, part of the things, like, last season, we lost to the Commanders because our offense was just not on the field.
Yeah.
Our defense could not get off the field.
Yeah.
And if you're doing 5-yard chip downs or I mean, like you said, it wasn't...
Check downs.
But nobody's running the ball. Like, that's how you win a football game, is keeping the opposing offense off the field. It doesn't matter, like, how good your defense is or how good your offense is. Just, like, whoever has the ball more, I mean, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and
for the most part.
And I like Desai. I think that's his name, the defensive coordinator. I mean, I always feel like we never blitz, which is like
that's always been the Eagles.
Yeah, but like God, I just see the Vikings play with Brian Flores as their fucking DC, and he's an animal. He just blitz.
The sack leader right now is on the Vikings. I forget his name.
Fuck. It's not Jared Allen anymore. Shout out Jared Allen. He retired. But dude, I was saying but the Vikings. I have this written down, but I showed you that. I think I showed you that one clip of the original video is like a guy gets it's like a dual screen like a TikTok thing, and it's like a guy
Daniel Hunter. He's tied for first with Myles Garrett.
Daniel Hunter.
But yeah, he got his 11th sack yesterday. Which I was like, what the hell?
That's a lot.
I wonder if it's because they blitz so much. I really
it definitely
don't watch
is.
Vikings games because, I mean, talk about fan bases that should be on suicide watch. I mean, maybe not anymore because of Josh Dobbs actually being...
I think Justin Jefferson's back this week, too.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson is back. Jordan Addison's been playing great. Alexander Madison is probably one of the biggest disappointments of the season. Him and Calvin Ridley are really trying their fucking best.
Yeah, literally.
Because I have them both in leagues. And, I mean, he's hurt, and now that their rookie, whoever the hell the number 32 is on the Vikings, suddenly becomes, suddenly knows how to run the football. It makes, like, at first I was like, maybe it's just their O-line. Maybe Alexander Madison, because, like, when he was back up to Dalvin Cook.
Didn't Cam Akers tear his ACL or something?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
He tore his, I
that's
think
not
he
hilarious
tore his
because he got
Achilles.
hurt, but it's, like, it's the situation of them, like...
Him getting cut from the Rams.
Inexplicably, like, Sean McVay hates...
Yeah, he just hates him.
I've never seen... I'm sure I haven't really looked either, but I've never seen an explanation for, like, why the Rams hate Cam Akers' guts.
And love Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, love Darrell Henderson, and then I don't remember where they got Kyron Williams from. But
I think he's a rookie.
I think
he's a rookie.
I did not know that. We'll have to check, but
I think he's back this week.
Yeah, I hope he is, dude. I mean, in our 110-man league, it's like I get one player back and then two more get hurt. It's ridiculous. I got David Montgomery back. Shout out that 75-yard touchdown. That was awesome. Even though it looked like he stepped out, but it was too close to overturn, so thank God that stayed.
Yeah, they don't have that above camera angle. They should, but
what was I going to say? Oh, I got David Montgomery back, but then, I mean, this was a couple weeks ago, but lost Darren Waller, and then this week, no Nico Collins. So, one step forward, two steps back for my fantasy team, as usual. Let's now focus back to the Eagles.
But
players that are shining, Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat was he was a sack. Let me actually pull this back up. He did have the most sacks in the NFL for a little bit. I'm curious where he stands now. And I'm sure the bye week affects that. But
he's got to be top 5.
Well, Hassan Reddick has 7.5. So he's actually the leader right now.
Huh.
And Josh Sweat has 6.5.
Huh.
So, like, I mean, thank you. Hassan Reddick, I didn't realize how much, I mean, he needed his thumb. But I was like, I remember texting you. I was like, where's Hassan Reddick? Like, the first 3 games, I'm like, is he all right? Like, is he out there? He was. But he had that cast on his thumb from the preseason injury.
Yeah.
And the second he got that thing off, I mean, he waited until the fourth quarter every game, but he's probably got the most clutch sacks this season.
Yeah.
I mean,
he always has that one in the fourth quarter that you're just like, fucking, we needed that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and Josh Sweat also. If it's not Hassan that does it, Josh Sweat does it. He did it against the Cowboys. BG also showing up in a clutch moment. Yeah. Him running Dak Prescott. Him hustling. Like, I watched that replay where Dak rolls for the 2-point conversion and tries to get it and steps out of bounds like a goofball.
Yeah.
I think Dak walks in unless BG... If BG hesitated, like he was pressuring and then sees Dak roll and doesn't even flinch. He just full sprint. Big man starts running, chasing him down, and clearly Dak did not want any of the smoke because he wasn't even worried about the sideline. He's just like,
get me out of here.
Then just handed us that loss, or win. Handed themselves that loss because, I mean, that final drive for the Cowboys, I mean, our defense gave them probably 40 or 50 yards in penalties.
Yeah.
They were instantly on the 25. And then they were like, hold on, Eagles. Don't worry.
We suck.
So we're going to get an 11-yard sack, a false start, and then not throw it into the end zone.
Like,
thanks. Thanks for making us be 8-1, because that was a gritty game. And I'm sure all Eagles fans were pretty nervous, but confident going into that. I think overall, like, I mean, nothing has changed from my criticisms of the Eagles before that, in that we need to stop fucking turning the ball over. I mean, we've recovered all of our fumbles, but 3 fucking fumbles? You kidding me?
That Swift one, that would have been like that would have been.
Did he have all 3?
Nah,
he recovered his own. Steam jumped on another one, and then
I don't think they were all him. I would have remembered that. But I know that the fucky one was him. Yeah. When him and AJ were just like, oh, let's just run into each other.
I mean, look, that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's something we can talk about. How I think overall this season people have been a little too critical of the Eagles.
Yeah. I mean it's nobody it's the Philadelphia thing. It's like nobody liked the Phillies, like everyone just wants to see us lose. They want the fucking Brock Purdy, like, oh, the Mr. Irrelevant, he's now number 1 in the NFC. Like, that's the storyline that they want, and they don't want the tush push Jalen Hurts, like, leading the NFC.
As somebody that has also played rugby, I mean, Jordan Mailata said this on New Heights, where they were like, is it a rugby play? No. It's not even remotely similar.
Yeah.
The only thing that, like, it might look like a rugby scrum because of, like, the position that people start in.
Yeah.
But it is completely different.
Yeah.
It is completely different.
But the thing is, too, like, it's the most quintessential, like, football play.
Yeah, if anything, it's a football play.
There ever is, because, like, the thing with, there are kind of like 2 points that I wanna bring up, from my playing days. But
back when I was
back when I was, starting left tackle and much fatter than I am right now. That's also another thing. This is a quick tangent. We're starting this when I have a full beard, so when I shave my face, I'm gonna like see myself on camera and just be like, oh fuck, like I'm so goddamn ugly.
Something we can talk about real quick is the picture that we chose for like our profile picture. That's us in high school. I'll pull it up really quick, but that's us in high school. We were at like the Smithsonian or something.
I don't know. It was some museum, and I just saw titties, and I was just like,
I don't know if it was that picture. We weren't standing in front of that, or it was like one of the early humans, and it's like a wax figure of just some chick with her tits out.
That's us when we're facing the thing, and we have our hands on the wall.
We'll probably pull that one up for the next episode.
Yeah, but
I can't find this.
They're the same pictures. But back from my playing days, obviously, but we.
Yeah, this is us. We're standing in front. It probably was like.
I think they're making a fire, just like this podcast fire.
Right. But that's us. You look like you're not that big here. I think.
I think that was junior year, so I think I was probably like 230-ish. But I was
probably just starting to play rugby.
I was a much bigger boy with shorter hair. But
great picture.
The one thing that I thought was weird was, with Hassan, with the cast, is I had a cast on during playoffs when I played, and I loved it. because you could just dunk everyone.
We got the club.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like
it's a battering ram, bro.
I guess Hassan does like tackle with his arms more.
Yeah.
I think he does have like such a huge reach.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It was surprising.
Yeah.
And he's back, so who cares?
And in the tush push thing is like I play left tackle, and our QB was, shout out, just broke the Kansas State passing touchdowns record. So Will Howard is the number one passing touchdown leader in Kansas State history.
I caught the end of his game this Saturday. That was a heartbreaker.
That sucked. But
so
close to beating Texas. Well, I'll bring it up. But okay. he was our QB, so he's 6'5", like 220 at least.
Wow.
So
or like in high school?
In high school. He was a big boy back then too. So like, and then it was me at tackle, and then our guard was our one buddy was the smallest on the offensive line. He was like 190. So for our QB sneaks, we would take him, move him to right tackle. We would get our right tackle, move him to left guard. So it was me. Our center was pretty small, but he was very good. So like it was literally
like Jason Kelce.
He basically was like he was pretty skinny. So like he wasn't the biggest, but it would be like literally just like getting our right tackle, who was like 280, and I would be on his right leg. Our center would be on his left leg, and then our QB would just like basically grab Mark's ass and just push, and we would get 3 yards every single time. And that's why I love the tush push so much, because it's just like I remember finishing those QB sneaks being like 3 yards like past like where we were, and just like looking. I remember one time we went in for a touchdown, and I somehow ended up on my back, and I was like, I like closed my eyes, and then I opened them, and it was just Will right in my face, and I was just like, hello. And
it appears we have scored.
Yeah. So
final tush push comment, I'll say that I watched a lot of teams try to run it this last Sunday, and I don't think a single friggin' one of them.
The Colts couldn't do it on the one inside.
The Colts, who have Gardner Minshew last year on the Eagles, and
Shane Steichen is the head coach.
Prior Eagles coach, literally last season. And they couldn't even do it. So it's not unfair. It's unfair how friggin' good we are at it.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's a broken play.
Yeah.
So shut the hell up about the tush push and banning it.
Yeah. So the one thing that makes me nervous, very nervous, obviously, Jalen Hurts is the man. So the backup QB situation, Marcus Mariota.
Watching the Netflix special, the quarterback thing, made me even more nervous.
Yeah.
About, like, for me, I was like, wow, Kirk Cousins, what a class act.
Yeah.
Love that guy. Patrick Mahomes.
Cool.
Whatever. Okay, shocker. He's, like, probably the best quarterback soon to be in history. And then Mariota, like, I know that Jalen Hurts said that he was asked to do that and said no.
I think he had like 25 minutes total in that show. Like
I wonder how many quarterbacks they had to ask if they wanted to be a part of this, and like how far down the list was Marcus Mariota before they like. I wonder how many people they asked before that, because like I mean, he's just not.
They had a hard time getting 3 for this year.
That's surprising.
I'm pretty sure.
I wonder if it.
I know.
Because of how
I know Dak was asked and he said no. I know Jalen was asked and he said no because. What, it's only
took up a ton of time.
Yeah, he said it was like, it's my only second year starting, so I don't really want to bring that distraction in.
Yeah.
And then Dak, I think Josh, like, the first year they did, like, top Patrick Mahomes, mid Kirk Cousins, worse Marcus. I mean, I can't say worse because he is a bad QB. So Marcus was like the worst. Like, so I think they tried to get like the 3 levels. So they have
That's
Josh.
What I when I first watched it.
I think they have Josh Allen this year.
Oh, really? They're making another one?
Yeah. So this next season, they're having like a very hard time getting people to do it this year. So I think it's Josh Allen, and then they asked Dak, and I'm pretty sure since I think it like already came out that Josh Allen said yeah, so then he was just like, wait, they want me as the mid guy? Fuck that. No. Like he has such an ego that he like
guy.
Yeah, like
Dak Prescott,
not willing to admit that he's mid. Like that's the most Dak.
Or at least one of the most unclutch quarterbacks.
Yeah, literally.
I mean,
so, but shout out Chip Kelly. Mariota's bad. We did not get him when he wanted Mariota so bad, but we should have traded like a second round pick for Tyson Bagent. He's the best. He's the best backup in the league, bro.
I mean, just the mere fact that I haven't watched too many Bears games just because I'm tired of watching DJ Moore not do anything. But I mean, I remember the announcers were, and a lot of the commentary I was hearing was basically like, they want Justin Fields to play like this.
Yeah. And
that's pretty impressive considering, I mean, Justin Fields is not a bad quarterback. I think he just, like, hopefully will mature and figure out the little nuances of his game because he's got the talent.
Yeah.
He just, like, is not there yet.
The thing is, like, when he was a QB, like, in college, like, he was not a runner. Like, he was a passer mostly in college. So, like, and then obviously, like, college is such a different game because you have people like 25 yards like open, and it's just like that doesn't happen in the NFL like ever. So like, and I think like all of his what he said in the like post game stuff, I think it was all like right. Of like he said like people were like mad because he like said it in a bad way. He was just like, too much coaching. But there is such thing as like too much coaching and thinking too much. Oh, yeah. Like he was definitely like thinking too much to where Tyson Bagent is just like, fuck it, I'm an undrafted guy. I am playing like I'm not playing for this team. I'm playing for like me on the back of my jersey because if I can get more years as a backup QB, then like you're setting yourself up for life. So like he was playing for everything basically to where Justin Fields, I think if he doesn't work out in Chicago, he'll still get another opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's weird because I feel like the NFL is like an influx of QBs. Like
it probably seems like it because of how many rookie quarterbacks or first time quarterbacks.
Trey Lance is a backup in Dallas.
I completely forgot about that.
And he was a number 3 pick, and he hasn't done anything.
Did he actually start for the 49ers? I don't really remember.
He started game 1 and then lost to the Bears because it was raining. I think that was this year. Was that last year?
That's grounds for trading.
Yeah, which is like fair, but I missed the black helmets.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Let's focus. So we're at about an hour, a little after an hour. Let's focus now on the Eagles commentary because I'm sure that's something
I think
we've gone off on tangents. We've hit a good bit.
I think
we've
we've
also
hit all of it
on different little tangents.
But I missed the black helmets. Shout out to the Kelly Green. They look great. Whatever. Yeah. But there was something about those night home games where it was black helmets, black jerseys, black pants, and it was the best fucking jerseys in the world.
I saw like after the Miami game where we wore the Kelly Greens. When's the next one we wear that? Like soon.
It should be. Are we home?
No. We're away against the Chiefs.
Yes, we are away.
We might be home against the Bills. I actually don't know.
Is that our next game? The Bills?
Actually, let me double check that. Eagles schedule. So I know obviously it's the Chiefs this upcoming week. Yeah, Chiefs, Bills at home, 49ers at home. That's awesome. And then away at the Cowboys. And then away at Seahawks too. At Seattle, whatever. So, I mean, this is the toughest stretch of the season.
Yeah.
If we can beat the 49ers and Cowboys, I'm okay going 2-3 in these next 5 games. Just because if we can beat the 49ers and Cowboys, I mean, it's a lock for the first spot in the NFC.
Yeah. So, and that's who we need to beat to make the Super Bowl. I mean, if it's definitely better to beat the NFC teams like in the regular season than it is to beat the AFC teams, because like the AFC teams are more, they're kind of like stat padding almost, to where it's like the records that count are the in division ones, because they're the second cursor of like winning the division. But like we do need to win these games just simply because I feel like the most important thing is going to be home field advantage for the playoffs. Especially, and that's like obviously like going without saying, but like the bye would be nice having the number 1 seed, but I feel like the more important thing is getting home field advantage for the NFC Championship and not having to go to fucking San Francisco or Dallas. Yeah. Dallas would suck.
I also like the bye this week is also so insanely clutch.
Or even Detroit. I would hate to go to Detroit for the NFC Championship.
That would be bad.
They're fucking good.
Well, they have like that's something like, they're definitely good. But as far as like how they stack up to the Eagles, I would say like there's still a pretty big gap. Just because like, I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season goes, but they also have like it might be the easiest schedule remaining. Like they're playing nobody.
I don't believe in that whole schedule.
Yeah, I mean, people said that about the Eagles last season.
Yeah,
and look what happened.
I
take that as you will, but you know, they've shown that they're not all the way there yet. A couple times this season.
Yeah. So what is it? 8-1, 17 games. So 8 more games. The shitty.
I can't believe it was just week 10. Or is it week 10 now?
It's week 11 now.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, just week 10. And then our 2 or 3 final games are the fucking just dumpster fire of the Giants.
Cardinals, Giants.
Oh, is it really the Cardinals? Jesus Christ.
That's
dude.
why
I mean,
when
like,
I heard that, like, I think the Bengals have the hardest schedule remaining or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like the Eagles' schedule is pretty rough. The next 5 games, we have probably the hardest schedule. But I mean, after that, it's like free.
Dude, shout out the Cardinals for fucking. Shout out to Cardinals for getting that win early in the season.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
They may
so fucking awesome.
They may go defeated for the rest of the year. Well, they may not win a single
Did they lose last game.
Wait, no, they won.
Did they win?
I think they won with Kyler Murray back. I think
Kyler Murray and James Conner's back, so that's pretty big.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Kyler Murray, not bad.
He was never bad.
He's playing for his job, obviously.
Yeah, there's that.
And
did Call of Duty come out? Yeah, it was already out. So I guess he's hopefully he's extra motivated to shut people up because like that's one of the funniest memes that I remember from. Because it's so true. Like, when new Call of Duty's dropped, he actually significantly played worse. Didn't they like give him homework? He's like the only QB in the NFL where like part of his contract was like he has to do homework.
Yeah.
Like, there was also like I feel like there was no actual, unless they knew something that wasn't public. Like I feel like there was no reason for that.
I mean, but they track that though. Like they track the amount of
Falcons, that's right.
the amount of the amount of hours you watch a film, like they can track all. Yeah, 100%. Like
probably wasn't doing shit.
I mean, that's what I mean in the Manziel doc. They're like they could track that back even like a couple years ago, and they're just like
pull up the mic a little bit closer just in case.
How much film did you watch? And the Browns guy was just like, I don't think he watched any. And then like it cut to Johnny Manziel, and it was just like, how much film did you watch? And he just went 0. and it was just like, bro, you have to watch film. But like Kyler Murray, like apparently like that was a whole fiasco because he got like mad about that shit. Like he was just like, why the fuck did this get out? Like I did not want this leaked at all. You're lucky that I signed this even with this in there. So like shut the fuck up. And then I think they fucking like took it out of the contract or something. So like they made
the font way smaller. So
yeah.
It's like in the fine print. But yeah, so I mean, as far as like the black jerseys, I love those, yeah. But would you be opposed to. I mean, I also like the midnight green. I mean, obviously, like, would you be opposed to like the? Would you be for or against the Eagles having the Kelly greens be the default?
Yeah, I would be against it.
You'd be against it?
Yes.
Even if it was just for a season?
Yeah. I don't... I mean, I like...
Are you allowed to even do that? Like, if choose a different jersey for a season?
Yeah. I think you can. I don't know. I think this helmet is the best in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
I like the Vikings more, actually. But... these are, like, top 3 helmet in the NFL. And I don't know.
Unbiased completely.
Yeah. To me, the Kelly Greens, they give more of the, like, creamsicle vibe of the Buccaneers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
to what,
true.
like, they just...
it's better than that.
You don't... And the same thing with, like, the teal Miami jerseys. Like,
oh, yeah.
You just look like pussies. Like, that's like you like that team does, like, that jersey does not scream to me push.
Yeah, creamsicle.
Yeah, like that they just look too pretty to play football to me. So like,
but Eagles, to your point, like compared to like the creamsicle, it's like we look pretty. And we look like that we're about to put up 40 on your favorite team. I
mean, the creamsicles are different because they're, like, the worst team in the NFL when they wore them. And I mean, Reggie White wore them for the Eagles, so I think they're pretty good, like, when they wore them, like, in reality. But I may, because everyone's just like, oh, Kelly Green, blah, blah, blah.
It deserved the hype.
But it's like...
it deserved the hype. I think where we start to get, like, that's why I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think about it being the default jersey?
No,
that's when
way too
people
far.
started saying that. And I was like,
no.
Would I be mad if they changed it? No. But do I think it's something we need to do? No.
I think I would be pretty mad. Honestly,
I wouldn't be mad. I would be like, why? But then after a week, I'd probably be like, all right.
I mean, I don't really care.
We should wear it more. If we wore it, like, how many times are we gonna wear it now? Twice.
I think.
Maybe if that was our playoff jersey or something, if that's a thing. A thing, maybe?
I think we can make it our playoff jersey.
That would be sick. I would be okay with that. But
But if you lose in the Kelly Greens,
it's gonna have to happen eventually if we want to wear it more.
But that's why I don't think we should wear it a lot.
Midnight black is also sick in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So midnight, yeah.
Black.
I've combined midnight green and black. Yeah, midnight black. We can pivot a little bit. We'll stay in the Philly sports arena, but who the fuck hit Kelly? How do you say his last name? OUBRE?
Yeah, OUBRE.
Who the fuck hit Kelly OUBRE with their car? I mean, I want your comments on this because you went to Temple and obviously have experienced to a much greater extent the Philadelphia antics.
Yeah.
Especially driving. But, like, what the fuck? Like, somebody almost said, people forget, like, also somebody ran a stop sign and almost killed A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And, like, now it's happened. Finally, one of the Philly sports stars, rising stars, I'll say, fucking got hit by a car, and he's going to miss significant time. And he was actually, like, the Sixers are, like, something we're going to have to touch on, but, like, I've said this, and I'm sure, depending on if Tyrese Maxey continues to be a god, putting up 50 points all the time, then maybe I'll watch the Sixers again. But I mean, I'm not gonna get excited until they get past the second round of playoffs.
Yeah.
I might watch them. I'd be like, oh, good, like, good, happy for you guys. But I'm not gonna get excited. Not gonna get mentally invested until they get to the third round.
Yeah.
But of fucking course, like. And I've heard on WIP people say this shit, like when it first happened, everyone was saying, like, it's ridiculous out here. Like, people are just like, red lights are suggestions. Like, I feel like when you go to a stop sign, no matter what is happening in the intersection, after you're sitting there for 3 seconds, people just go.
Yeah.
It's like 1, 2, 3, and then it's not a fucking 3-second rule.
Well, you can't pull people over in Philadelphia. Yeah. That's like the main problem. So yeah, there are literally no rules when driving.
Being at Temple, like, what's some of the things that you would see, like, beyond, like, people on dirt bikes?
I mean,
everywhere?
one of the people just got, like, arrested and, like, for, like, did you see that video of the one guy, like, getting off his bike and just bashing the window in of, like, a pregnant lady?
No.
Yeah, so that was, I think it happened in, like, Center City, and, like...
That's crazy.
like where that like you know that the big loop around the
City Hall.
Yeah, City Hall. So like I think that's where it happened, and like, dude, that roundabout is that people go nuts on that fucking roundabout. Like, people are flying, especially with like all the ATVs and shit. And so like
those are different because it's like, I guess like not, you don't really hear people getting hit with an ATV or a dirt bike.
Yeah.
But like just people in cars are like,
yeah.
When I visited you at your house near Temple, like you had, was it a one-way? Your street?
My street, yeah.
So it's a one-way, but people park on both sides of the road, if I recall. So it's, I mean, that road is narrow as fuck. And people are walking on the sidewalk and crossing the street all the time.
Yeah.
And people go like, they're pushing like 45, 50 down like a 60-yard stretch of road.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, thank God OUBRE is okay, and hopefully we'll come back soon.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's got cracked ribs the last time I checked.
Yeah.
I didn't read much into it. I just like heard about it on the
I
radio.
think they said his like hip too.
Yeah.
But
like, he fully got hit by a car.
yeah.
He fully just got crushed by a car.
Yeah.
And, like, was he when did we get him? Was it in the offseason or in this trade with James Harden?
I think we got him in the off season. I think
Okay.
I think we signed him from Washington.
I know he's been in the league for a bit.
Yeah, he's been in the league for a little bit, but he's always been like this third or fourth guy, and like I feel like they just like being, I think like he's one of those like fourth guys that like need like a solid three in front of them, and like we kind of have it with Tobias being the third. I mean, Maxey and Joe right now are the best duo behind. I think it's people are saying that Giannis is
Ribs,
and
hip,
Damian.
and leg.
Yeah.
And they didn't catch the guy.
Yeah, that's
the other
they
thing.
never will. I don't think
probably
they ever
won't,
will.
Because like
he will have to turn himself in for them to fucking catch him.
Or
I swear to
people
God.
find out like some diehard Sixers fans are friends with this guy and they just out him.
Just fucking beat his ass.
Because like people were saying like, oh, like he'll have to go get his windshield or whatever got damaged fixed. Like he's not going to like the Jiffy Lube. He's gonna get like, it's the same people like the Kia boys like stealing Kias, right? Like, there's probably places that he can go. There's probably places that he can go that would fix that shit, no questions asked. But that is like.
Yeah, I
think it would have been crazier, or like.
I think I'm already doing my whole Sixers thing to where I start off the year being like, oh, I'm not gonna pay attention, and then I'm just sitting there bored at night, and I'm just like, oh, do I throw on the Sixers? The Sixers are on.
I'm not gonna get excited. I'm just gonna watch it and enjoy the regular season victories.
Yeah.
And then hopefully this year Joel Embiid will not become a church mouse.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, and
so like right now I'm at that spot of like I'm not watching them right now, but I will get to the point of like I'm gonna watch the Sixers now because they're looking good, blah 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 blah, and then it's the same exact thing over and over and over again. Shout out to Joel Embiid's house and all you cabinetry in there.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was me. I did that. You're welcome.
You delivered all the cabinets to Joel's house. That's awesome. Looking back on your cabinet days.
Yeah.
I remember you saying like some of the houses that you went to were like.
Oh, fuck it.
How many cabinets goes into Joel Embiid's house? I mean, did you do the whole house? Or
it was the last day when I was there, and we had a big truck and the small truck fucking fill up his kitchen, and then they went back there for an entire week and a half doing the rest of the house.
Jesus.
Yeah. So like it was
cabinets.
Yeah, at least a couple cabinets.
Maybe we can look
but I don't think we should look up where he lives.
Why?
Because I don't think people appreciate getting doxxed.
Well, if I can Google it, then it's already out there, right? It's not like I'm asking you to pull up a picture you took.
Oh, this is saying condo. So I think everyone knows the like condo in Philadelphia, but I think he was trying to keep the one I went to under wraps. So
yeah, that's probably not one.
I will keep quiet on that
it's
location.
Not like if I just Googled it and found it, then that's not anything you did. I mean, it's on the internet. But we won't dox him.
But the main part that I thought was funny about the Kelly OUBRE thing, and Kelly Oubre might be my favorite guy on the Sixers now because Tyrese Maxey dropped the 50 bomb, and they went to FaceTime him in the locker room after the game. He didn't answer.
Of course.
if that's the most like type of shit of like, hey bro, if I'm not at work, I ain't working. So don't fucking call me. Do not do shit. I'm off the clock.
Philadelphia goofballs hit me with their car.
Yeah.
I'm not basking in the team spirit right now.
And didn't
he's been here for like a couple months.
Didn't Darius Slay get his car stolen? Or no, that was CJ DJ whatever.
CJ
Gardner
Johnson.
Gardner Johnson.
Was that him?
Yeah, I think that was him who got his car stolen.
Yeah, somebody did get their car stolen.
Yeah. I mean, you know what you get in Philadelphia. You get all the crazies together.
The Kia boys.
Like, you get all the Kia boys. You got just fucking good luck just being anywhere on the subway. Just like
I saw a trend that was like this was more on TikTok, which I have since deleted.
Good.
But it was like girls posting like their subway outfits, and it's basically just they would wear like a big T-shirt like this over their going out outfit, so they weren't like sexually harassed on the train or the subway. Which and I don't even think that was exclusive to Philly. I mean, that's probably most of the world, if we're being honest. Because
I mean, I think
crazy right now.
I think China/Japan is like has like the worst sexual assault things.
And I don't know if this is true. I heard this on another podcast, but I heard through the grapevine of our colleagues now that Japan has, I don't know how recently, but they have their own transit system. They have a female-only transit system because, like, the public gropings and I also heard that, and I don't know if this was Japan, but I also heard that a country disabled the ability to turn off, like, when you take a picture, like, how when your ringer's click.
Yeah.
All the phones.
I think that is Japan. Yeah.
In Japan, I guess. Sorry if this isn't true, but somewhere in the world.
We love spreading misinformation.
Yeah, this is going to be a disinformation podcast. Just whatever pops into it's the gunk in our brain. That's what this is.
Just everything after we say, just if we don't say it in real time.
Unless I pull it up on the screen and we read it together. And even then, that source might be...
we may
not be accurate.
I think what we need to do is we need to just have a button for whenever we forget to say allegedly. Just allegedly. Yeah. Just at the end. Allegedly. They disabled the ability to turn off the ringer, so that way like people doing like upskirt shots with their selfie stick. I've seen that's so insane. The most like infamous video of that is like that one guy on the plane. You ever see that video where he takes a picture of that girl's underskirt?
I'm sure I've seen it before.
You've seen it, but it's... Yeah, that... I mean, me personally, I've seen, like, weird shit happen on the subway. Just people just, like, yelling, screaming, just, like, being nuts. But, like, I've never been touched, luckily, and I could have, like... there were definitely opportunities to when it could have happened because, like... Bro, it gets fucking tight on there sometimes, sure. Like rush hour and shit. Yeah. So like,
gotta keep your pockets guarded.
Oh my god, bro! I would have everything in my
under your balls,
my sweatshirt pocket, and I would just hold on for dear life. And I always had a knife on me too, so I would always be gripping that. So, like, yeah, I mean, my sister and like, I see all the girls, like, in our, like, age bracket have that, like, pepper spray shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, bro, what the fuck is that gonna do? Like, if you, like...
Pepper spray, like, I've never been pepper sprayed, but...
It hurts, yeah.
I'm sure it hurts. It depends on if the person is, like, on something.
Yeah.
If it's, like, just a crazy person trying to grope you, then maybe that'll be enough.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody, like one of those leaning zombies that regain consciousness... and are coming after you, like, I don't think there's any... I don't know if bullets would stop him. You'd have to headshot it like he was Walking Dead. But the other thing that, something that, like, Japan having to make their own transit system for women, like, this is something that I feel like is just not talked about in general. Like, it's not just Japan that has problems like this. Like, I remember when you told me about... I got the Citizens app for when I went to Philadelphia, and then I also started following these Instagram pages that are like, I think one of them was like Watch Out Philly or something.
Yeah, shout out.
And I was like, shout out to them. And you said it before, like right when I followed, and you were like, oh yeah, like all of those just post public masturbation. And I was like, that can't be a problem. Like, is it really like a thing? Every fucking post was either somebody just got groped or somebody saw somebody else with their dick out, like in the middle of the street, in the middle of a park, outside of a school. Like, it's everyone's got their fucking cock out in Philly for some reason.
The ones that drive me crazy are the people that, like, there's one guy driving a Tesla.
Oh yeah,
so it's just like,
that was crazy.
Obviously, obviously he has a house if he has a Tesla,
or
like,
he just only can afford a Tesla.
Yeah,
somehow, and that's like he lives in out of it. I don't even know. That's insane. That somebody in a Tesla's rolling around,
just beating his
it
dick
to the people on the sidewalk. Like, what is going on right now?
Like that page, like that.
It's like 90% public masturbation.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, I say this all the time, and it's just like you see something like someone does or just something, and you're just like, well, at least I'm not that bad. Like, that's like one of those things the way you look at, and you're just like, well, I'm not doing that.
I'm not jerking off outside.
Yeah, in my car.
At 7 a.m. on the sidewalk. But, everyone's got their shit. I mean,
what do I know? But God, I haven't looked through that page in so long. But that was one of my favorite things to do. Like, when I lived at Temple, is just scroll through that account, because I would go like from work, like North Philadelphia, go down to Center City, and then go over to West Philly to like Penn area, and I would like see like most of the places that like were on that account, and it's just like, man, like imagine if like
there's a lunch there.
Yeah, like I see places and I'm just like,
that's my whole truck.
Yeah. Like I was like just there, and it's just like the thing is like you got all that stuff going on, and then the fucking kids, bro. Kids suck. I hate like.
It seems like when you watch the nightly news, sorry to cut you off, but like I'll occasionally have on, because now that I'm back home and have cable, as opposed to my house at Penn State, I did not have any cable.
Yeah.
So I'll get like the nightly news, and they'll go through like the shootings.
Yeah.
And all of the victims or the perpetrators are like between 14 and 19.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that started with COVID, like post-COVID, like all those kids, unfortunately not being in school.
Yeah.
Ended up doing mixed up and shit they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know, but that's just like...
Well, yeah,
I've noticed an uptick in, like... It seems all the violent crimes are, like, kids younger than us, and we're 23.
Yeah. We would always get, like... Because we would get those, like, Citizens app / like, alerts of, like...
Toby's sneezing over there, my dog.
But we would always get those like alerts, because you guys would like the only things that you would have to see would be like, oh, there was a sexual assault in this building, which is obviously bad. Don't do that. But
be on camera.
But we would get like towards the end of my like school year, we would get fucking we would get things of like juveniles like causing some things, and then it would just be like there are 300 to 500 like juveniles like causing something, causing like a ruckus like on the street, and I would just be like, Jesus Christ, I don't even think I know like that many people. Right. But like I would get on the trains when school would come out, and like, bro, they would just like, and they would just be like so loud and just like running around, and then I was just like, God, that's one thing. Fucking kids.
But like being loud and like, that's one thing. But then like and this is not necessarily kids, but I like during COVID there was like those group like robberies where like 250 people will just rush a Gucci store, break the shit out of everything, take it all, and then nothing happens. Yeah, like zero arrests. Like, well, there was too many of them or something. Like,
oh, that just happened in Philly over there was some sort of like police officer thing to where I think they like the police just like went like completely like out of order of what they were supposed to do, and then like they were gonna do something, and then they like stopped like the hearing / proceedings, and then everyone was just like, all right, fuck this. And then they started like, they went into a store and started like doing everything, and there's just
stealing stuff.
Yeah, and there's one like lady that was like an influencer, and like I guess in like Philadelphia, and like she was like recording it all, and they got so many people from her video.
Really?
They got her. They got like every person like in her video.
That's
like,
because and you watch those videos, like nobody's wearing a mask. It's not like, that would happen with COVID, and everyone have a mask on because of the pandemic. Now it's just like people just don't give a shit, and I don't think that's just Philly.
No,
it's just like across the country. Like
that's
people
just
will just like bum rush a Louis Vuitton store. Like, the Louis or Lululemon commercial that I've seen a couple times for like the football games. It's like people like ripping their pants off and sprinting to Lululemon to get the new pants. Like people are doing that, but not paying for it. And in the back of my head, I'm like, that's kind of funny.
You know what? I want this.
Yeah, like, I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but that's just like
that. I've never seen those.
This is how the world is. Yeah. Oh gosh. But, yeah, people need to chill the fuck out. And I think now that it's getting colder out, it's going to happen a lot less, hopefully. Especially, I'm sure public masturbation. I love to see the stat. It's like, you know when like, it's like the day after Halloween. And
what's
then
like the hot spot?
The day after Halloween, the Mariah Carey song.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's like you see like the tick. It's like, starting. I love those memes. Every year they're so funny. But, yeah, I'd love to see like the canyon that is the wintertime in Philadelphia for the public masturbation count, and then
they just go under.
Hopefully stop robbing stores.
They just go underground then. They just do it in the subway then. That's all that happens.
And that's when Uber gets all the money.
Shout out Uber.
Say?
But
oh well, the other thing I wanted to touch quickly. So between you going to Temple and dealing with all this stuff. And, like, you would hear, like, gunshots far away. Like, it was the polar opposite at Penn State. Partly because, like, it's literally the middle of, like, it was just a field. History about Penn State, it was literally just a field. And somebody, like, to my understanding, was they basically were like, all right, let's make a state college. Where do we put it? Well, we want everyone in the state to go there, so let's just put it right in the fucking middle. Like, they put their finger on the map and, like, this is where it is. So there's literally nothing around Penn State besides Penn State shit. Like, you walk, like, I think in certain directions you can walk like 3 blocks, and then there's just nothing there. So
it's a cult.
Yeah, it's a cult. Yeah, we're in the boonies. But no, being drunk, like I could be like barely able to walk at 3 a.m. and stumble down any alleyway through State College and be completely at ease.
Yeah.
Because like there's just no one. It's way colder up at Penn State for the most part. So. For most of the semester, it's like you barely want to be outside to begin with, let alone anybody causing mischief. And 2, there's just like nobody else out there because it's just like here where you can drive 10 minutes in one direction and then all of a sudden you're seeing horse and buggies and just open fields, right? Same thing with State College. It's just except it's even more isolated because there is just one of everything that we have here, like a Target, Walgreens, whatever. Everything from back home.
A lot of there's a lot of like small town stuff too, like mom and. I wouldn't say mom and pop places.
It's not like it's the majority, but there's a good amount.
I mean,
the only reason why they're there is because of Penn State.
I mean, you have like Chipotle and like all and like Sheets and like all that shit, but like that one place that we would go get breakfast, like was that a chain? Is
Bagel Crust? You mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's there's technically 3. Toasted for the Penn Staters. Toasted is basically bagel crust. It's where near one of our friends.
Oh, so that sounds
it's like the same exact menu, but it's just a different name. Like they literally have like a sandwich. Bagel Crust is a bagel place at Penn State that makes really good bagels, and they have a sandwich called like the Hangover. Toasted has the same one, but it's like all of the sandwiches are the exact same. So I don't know how they get away with that. There's like 3 in State College. I don't know if it's a national chain or something.
Yeah, so it's probably like let's open up this bagel place at Penn
wildly
State.
Successful.
Yeah, and then
open up another one.
Yeah, open up another one.
Another one.
Another one. But yeah, I mean not a lot of people like visit me at Temple, which was like kind of nice because whenever you guys would, I would say like that one time that you visited me and we drove up in my car. And
is that when we were moving you in for the first time to that house?
I think so. But I basically, like, right before we got out of the car, I was just like, all right, follow my lead. Don't talk to anyone. Don't say anything. Like, just put your head down and do not say anything. This is Philadelphia, not Penn State. The moment we get out of the car, some guy's just like, oh, let me wipe off your fucking
that was
thing,
when
and
we were
you started like a conversation with him, and I was just like, dude, what the fuck did I just say? Shut up.
Well,
like
he was smart. That guy, he started off
you're just an idiot.
Yeah, I know. He tricked me. I wonder if I probably wasn't wearing something Penn State related, but he just was like, let's just see.
Yeah.
But he started off just striking up a conversation, and me being the friendly guy, I was like, oh, what's up?
No.
And then he was like,
that's
your windshield or your headlights look like shit. Can I clean them? And we're just like, no.
You looked at me, and I was just like, no.
I realized right away. I was like,
oh fuck.
No.
Yeah, you did.
Shit.
So,
and we were like, no, buddy, like, go away. And
yeah.
He was not happy.
Yeah, he was.
Did not repeat what he was saying.
Yeah, he was not enthused, and like, there was one time that we're at some kid's house, and his backyard had like a fence up to the street, and we were, smoking some darts outside, and some. Wait, no, I don't think. No, we weren't. I think we were just playing a game, and
Pong or something.
And some like guy came up to the wall and was just like, "Hey, give me a cigarette back there." And we were just like, "We ain't got none." And he was just like, "What?" And we were just like, "We don't have any fucking cigarettes." And he was just like, "Man," and then proceeded to say a lot of derogatory words towards us. So, yeah, I mean. That was before I got on to the drunk cig wave. Heavy love cigs. Thank you.
I love that meme where it's like new all natural
all natural vape.
Yeah,
it's
plant-based vape. And then you watch the video and they don't really reveal that it's just cigarettes until the very end. I remember watching that and genuinely being like, what the hell are they talking about?
This plant tobacco. Yeah. It's a natural
plant-based all natural vape. Way better for you. And then it's just a pack of Marlboros.
Yeah.
Marlboros.
But like even like because like when you'd go to even like towards the end of like my Temple run, like South Street, that's like where like a lot of the bars are. That started to get like a little wild sometimes too. Like there's like a shootout one time between like guys like our age, and it was just like the least expecting thing because they didn't look like they're like, you can tell very easily like when you're in Philadelphia, like who's a college student and who's like an actual resident of Philadelphia. Like it's very easy to tell.
Got your Temple hat.
Yeah. So like it looked like people that were like college kids, and then it just like. And then it just like went all out, and I was just like, oh. And so like I hurt my back the last semester, so like I didn't really.
From the cabinets.
Yeah, so
shut out cabinets one more time.
Yeah.
Getting a cabinet dropped on you and
fucking herniated L4 disc. So that's fucking great, but yeah, I just like stopped going out like the end of my senior year, and it was also like a point of like, God, I'm just fucking sick of this college shit. I just want to fucking graduate.
The schoolwork was actually like, it was debilitating.
To me, it was just dragging. Like I was just like, I felt like just like so over it. I was just like, brother, like how, like I just looked to like this.
It's gonna have no impact. On my life.
I just looked to the 2 summer classes I had to take, and I was just because I just knew it wasn't the end. I knew I had to go home and do more classes, and I was just like, bro, fuck. Like I just want to like go home and just do these fucking classes and then be done with it. But like I would. Fucking even when I was at like Penn State, I would have to catch myself like because I didn't really have many of like our friends like visit me at Temple, but a lot of my roommates would have people visit. So like when like me and my roommates, we were all pretty good of like when we would like get like drunk.
How many
like
did you have again?
4. So and
5
like
total.
5 total, and then 1 moved out and a new one moved in between junior and senior year. So I had 5 in total, but
never you didn't have 6 people living in the house.
No, fuck that. He that one kid showed up for a couple weekends after we moved out, but he fucking did like a whole like world tour basically after we graduated, so we didn't really see him too much. But we were pretty good on like realizing. At least I noticed it, just because like I for like many reasons I just wouldn't be the drunkest girl at the party. So like
drunkest girl.
Yeah. So like like there's always, because everyone knows that one bitch that just whenever they start drinking they have to fucking like just die. So like I was never the drunkest bitch at the party, but like it's like once when like someone would get to that point, like if it was like all 5 of us going out, it would be like max 2 of us would get to that point, and it was usually the same perpetrators every time. And then it was me and my other roommate who was usually just like, damn, they're pretty fucked up over there. like let's make sure we rein in this Uber and all of us get home in time. So that was always like it was fun. Like I'm
one of those things where like it wasn't fun, super fun in the moment, but looking back it's like a fun.
I don't know. I like, because when we were younger and we would go down to the beach, shout out Sea Isle, like it's the only non I think there's actually another whatever those, not cities, but like another like
it's, what is it? Goes Sea Isle, Avalon, Ocean City.
No, it goes Ocean City, Strathmere, Sea Isle, Avalon, Stone Harbor.
Right. Stone Harbor's the one I was forgetting.
And but they're all like dry towns.
Except Sea Isle.
Yeah, except for Sea Isle. So you would get all of the drunkards walking home. So that
bars are in Sea Isle, I think.
Yeah, very nice bars.
Besides the Princeton and Avalon, although it's not that nice.
Avalon's the other one where you can drink. Yeah, but like before you go into Ocean City, you see like a liquor store and right like literally right before the bridge. So like Sea Isle, you would just see like all the people walking home from the bars, and it was fun people watching. Like that's what we would do when we were younger. We would people watch like on the way home from, and sometimes it would be our parents, and then when it was our parents, we would usually have like water balloons or like eggs ready for them. We would throw it on them. That was always fun. But
with an egg. Toby's ruining. I'm surprised we haven't found a way to go. Yeah, makes too much sense, but you haven't said yet. I don't think it doesn't have to be like a requirement.
Oh, we're just bullshitting. Yeah, like bullshitting. Once when we start, like we'll definitely there'll definitely be an episode where we're pretty fucking pissed off at something.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully not anything Eagles related, but I'm sure.
Yeah.
Eagles related.
It would have been the third down fucking shit.
Thank God they stopped that. But,
third down draw.
Third down.
Let's do it.
Playing Madden. I gotta do it.
Yeah,
it's almost like I remember saying like it feels like a compulsion for our offensive coordinator. Like it was like just stop, do something else. The one play that I had sent you, what would you even call that? The one where it was like the play that actually Dallas Goedert got his forearm snapped by that.
That's just a simple boot. Yeah, those boot plays
are fucking strap on our boots and run that shit. Because, I mean, last season you look at half our highlights, and that's a lot of them were some variation of a boot. And we ran it 2 times in 3 plays against the Cowboys, and I mean it cost Dallas Goedert his forearm, but AJ Brown also scored.
I hate that we are in shotgun every single play. I
do need to run the ball a little bit more.
Like I need an offense to where they get under the center and we just run the ball sometimes. Like that's why I like the Detroit Lions offense the best, because they get under
running backs in the league.
No, Christian McCaffrey.
No, I'm like the pair.
But then even then you say that and it's Debo. They do CMC and Debo. That's literally the 1-2.
Kind of count that.
But no, they definitely top 3. I think the top 3 would be the Niners, Lions, and then when A-Chain comes back for the Dolphins. Yeah.
We'll see what the Dolphins do this week. Who are they even playing?
Oh, they're 10-point favorites against The Raiders. A lot of 10-point favorites this week.
Dude, the Raiders might upset them though. They're all fired up. They're revitalized.
This is where they come. I'm calling.
This is their cup check?
This is my game of the week. Fucking come down to earth, bro. They are coming down to earth so hard in this game.
Schedule.
And then the Dallas Cowboys are 10.5 against the Panthers. The Commanders are 9.5 favorites against the Giants. Like both those teams are so bad.
I don't know about all that.
And then the Detroit Lions are 10 against the Bears, which they may destroy them by 28. And then the Niners are 10.5 against the Buccaneers,
dude,
which I think is a little weird.
Look at the Dolphins' last 4 games:
Titans, Jets,
Cowboys,
Ravens, Bills. That sucks for them.
Rough.
And then, yeah, there are a lot of big spreads this week. And then a couple. I mean, the game of the week is Bengals Ravens at 1 o'clock, and then
Chiefs.
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday.
That's a game Sunday that you have to be like, if you yell at us all you want, sports fans. We are normal people right now. We are like 1 to 2 TVs max. Most people have like 4 to 5 TVs that they set up and just fucking. You ever see those setups before to where they go ham? I was always
1 to 2, 1 for Red Zone and 1 for the game that I wanted to watch was just obviously the Eagles. But I've seen those where it's like. But
now people are I see the thing that I see now the most is 3 TVs, and you do the YouTube TV to where you have 2 games.
Disney Plus Toy Story cast on one screen.
Yeah, so you have 2 per TV, which I like. I think I'm gonna try to get that figured out for next year, but yeah.
I have TVs for it. I just haven't set it up because I have they're all really old, cheap TVs, but like still like HD. They're not like the new smart TVs. Like I feel like every TV now has got a like Netflix and Disney Plus install already. I don't have anything like that, so the Fire Stick is still clutch.
Yeah, we only have 1 of those TVs. One's a little dumb too because like it doesn't have like HBO pop up either. So like the only ones that pop up are like Netflix and Amazon, and it's just like thanks. Not even Hulu doesn't even pop up, which is dumb. Like I feel like you need like a Fire Stick for like every single TV. Even if you have like a smart TV, you need or maybe I just don't have the updated enough smart TV.
The Fire Stick, so I got the first Fire Stick ever. The first one ever. And that thing now is like fucking clicking through a PowerPoint slide like on the home menu. Like it is a piece of shit. I can barely use it. So I got a new one. I think they are only like $20. Yeah. When it's Prime Day, they are only $30. Toby just came back downstairs. So they're only $30, but like I'll watch like sometimes like 2 episodes of a show, and then the 3rd episode it just decides to start skipping or like pausing like every 30 seconds, and it's so fucking annoying. I have to restart the Fire Stick like every 3 episodes of a show I watch. So I can't binge watch shit on that. So and that's a brand new one. That's like they're maybe on the 3rd or 4th gen. Yeah. So I mean, maybe there's like a 4K one that might be better because I don't have the 4K one. I have like the normal one because like does anyone give a shit about 4K TVs? I feel like don't care. I think I've heard that like 8K TVs were starting to become a thing, but our eyes can only see up to like 4K or something. So like there's 8K doesn't like even look any different. It just is triple the price or some shit. I'm
so happy that they stopped doing fucking like 3D TVs and shit like that. Yeah. Do you remember when that was like the hot thing for like a year?
There was a Super Bowl.
I was just like, if I have to fucking put on glasses to watch a TV in my fucking house, like no, that's so
plasma
dumb.
TVs are. We quickly realized that those were shit.
What's a plasma?
I don't even actually know what the difference is, but I just remember being like, "Ooh, it's a plasma screen TV." I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think
wouldn't that be considered a plasma screen?
No, I think that's like OCLED or whatever the acronym is, like LED.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I haven't bought a TV, like a nice one, maybe ever. I mean, I remember when my dad got
I don't think we've ever done that.
We have a big TV over here that is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. TV. But
it's so
also pretty old at this point. It's about 10 years old.
It's so crazy that like I remember like when I was like younger growing up, I was just like, bro, TVs are like $8,000. Like I thought TVs were like the most expensive thing in the world.
Now they're like $120.
Yeah, and then like when I went, like we went and bought a fucking like we just had like our like den room that you all sleep in, like that TV. We just wanted something to like cover up that whole wall, and we measured it, and it was like exactly 70-inch TV would like do it.
Barely fit.
Yeah, so I was like going into the Best Buy being like, oh, this thing's going to be like $1 million. Like I'm gonna have to like blow my parents for this. Like this is gonna be awesome. And then like we got there, and it was like $500, and I was just like, fuck. Like I could have done this myself.
Like, see, I think it was somebody from Barstool, but they like made fun of like how girls in an apartment or like a dorm room will have like eight girls around the smallest TV possible. Like this monitor is probably like 27 inches. They're like across the living room watching a show with subtitles. Yeah, and it's literally like the smallest TV ever. Like, that actually, I started dying when I saw that because it's so true.
Yeah, I visited my sister. She goes to IUP, so they got a nice living situation there because
dorm rooms.
Oh no, she's in her own place now, and she has like houses like Penn State to where they're not connected. Everyone has their own like yard and shit like that. And I walked in, and they had a fucking L couch, and I was just like, damn, like you guys are living large.
So the other side of that, like okay, so girls will have like the smallest TV they could find,
and then the couch,
and then the entire living room is like nicer than the one that like your parents have, that you grew up in. Like, so that's the trade-off. Whereas like guys will have the biggest TV possible and like two lawn chairs, two lawn chairs and a mini fridge in a humongous living room. Yeah. So yeah, that's the other side of it.
And then the TV they had, it was a big TV, and I was just like,
did it come with the place? There were some places at Penn State. These were more apartments. I doubt houses would do this, but maybe if it's a brand new house.
I don't think so.
Some apartments at Penn State that were like $1,200 a person per month or something came with their own like flat screen, which was crazy.
Well, it's just whether it comes furnished or not. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't think it was furnished. I think they had to bring in all their furniture, and but I think that's also like my parents are like, do not lose this fucking house. Like we don't want to fucking move you again. Yeah. And that's
especially if it's unfurnished.
Yeah, and they said that to me too, and I was just like, "Don't worry, I'm not fucking leaving. Yeah. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not doing it."
But at the exact same time, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the other thing? Oh, new movies.
Let's go.
Some new movies. So,
all right, The Killer just came out on Netflix. This is so. Let me just start it off with. Yeah. David Fincher.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But so, I love TV shows. I love movies. Playing a lot of video games right now. So basically.
This did look very good.
This is so me and Alex, we met in high school, and like I had friends, but I just never hung out with them like outside of school. So like I had a lot of free time. So growing up, it was always I listened to so much fucking music. I love music. And then
I remember one year, sorry to cut you off, but one year you had like 140,000 minutes on Spotify. That's crazy.
It's gone down a lot just because at work I don't listen to my Spotify. We have like a joint that I just start a jam and cue shit from there. Yeah. But so like so my main two things is like music and video games. I listen to music and I play video games. So new Call of Duty just came out. So I've been behind on movies. I don't think I've watched a movie in like a month. But like they always take the back seat to like music and video games. But I love TV shows probably third, and then movies are fourth. But I still love watching movies. But this movie, The Killer, I legitimately may go home and watch this tonight.
Is it out on Netflix already?
Yeah, it went straight to Netflix.
Oh, that's awesome.
No movie theaters.
So, no affiliation with Netflix or anything. That'd be awesome if we could get a Netflix code.
Yeah, I know. I think part of my take just got sponsorship with Netflix.
That's pretty big.
And They have a lot of goods. I just love Netflix so much. But
doesn't this guy's head? I think he's wearing a beanie here. But I was like looking. I was like, who the hell is this?
He looks like He looks like an even dumber version of like Larry David.
That picture. That, or I was thinking like Dr. Evil. What the hell is this?
But
I don't really know who Arliss Howard is.
I mean,
Michael.
Click on Michael Fassbender. What the hell is he in?
He is.
Click on movies.
He's in the Covenant, Alien Covenant. That was awesome. He's also Magneto, young Magneto.
Oh, he's in Inglourious Basterds.
Inglourious Basterds.
That's
too.
why I know him.
He was like the other.
You was the Assassin's Creed guy? Shout out, AC Mirage. Shout out.
He was in 300.
And 12 Years a Slave. Huh.
Yeah, I mean he's a big time actor.
Yeah.
But
the Assassin's Creed. So remember how I said like a month ago I'm on the last mission?
Oh yeah.
Still on the last mission.
Is it that long, or you just haven't finished it?
I just haven't gone back and played it. Like I don't want it to end. It was such a great fucking video game that I legitimately just don't want it to end. So I'm holding on to it for like dear life. But
so the other movie,
Killer of the Flower Moon.
This one looks really good, but it's also
as everyone.
It's almost as long as The Irishman, which was too long. But I mean, 92 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's way better than like what was The Irishman?
Brendan Fraser. But I mean, we just watched Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was the best.
Yeah, it was good too. 86. I feel like the movie critics 95 actually. Wow, that's even better. I honestly, I said this before when we talked about The Irishman. I wasn't really mentally prepared to watch a 3.5 hour movie.
For Oppenheimer?
No.
For Irishman.
The Irishman. So I didn't really pay attention too closely for a lot of it, which is something that that's my bad. But I mean, I still thought it was kind of boring for some parts. So I'll have to go back and watch that. But Killer of the Flower Moon, I'm very excited for.
I mean, Godfather 1, I was awake the entire time. Godfather 2, I think I fell asleep for a half hour.
That's a crime. You gotta watch that.
But it was at the beginning. So
okay.
I missed like part of the beginning and then watched the entire end.
It's been so long since I watched The Godfathers that I think it's time to rewatch them again.
Yeah.
Because I watched them so many times, like consecutively, like within a couple months, I watched it like 3 or 4 times in the series. So I was like, all right, I've seen enough.
Yeah, I gotta take a break.
That's like watching The Hobbit.
But the
Lord of the Rings trilogy.
This movie, I think I've seen some people say it. Jesse Plemons, whenever that guy's in a movie, go over Jesse Plemons.
He's really good.
He is in the best fucked up movies there ever is. Like El Camino, Breaking Bad.
No! Iconic. Also, wait. So touching back to the most memeable shows,
American Made. That's a great
SpongeBob,
movie.
WWE,
Breaking Bad
might be a third place.
I am the danger.
It might even beat out the WWE.
Probably.
Depending on the person.
Oh,
He's in Vice. I remember. I think I remember.
I don't remember him in Vice.
He plays a lot of like. I feel like he's had a lot of like. Henchman 2 level characters.
Yeah, that's what he's best at. Like, I would never want to see a movie to where he's the main character, but every time that he's the side character, like the little do you know what he would have been?
Spies. That's a great movie.
Do you know what he would have been great in? He would have. I mean, obviously they got the bigger guy for the role, and I think he did good. But Matt Damon's role in Oppenheimer, I feel like he would have done that role very well too. Oh, yeah. So, I love this guy. In this movie, it looks so fucking good. Just because, first of all, when the fuck have, the American Indians, ever gotten a movie?
There's a few. They're older, though. I mean, technically The Revenant, I think. There was a little bit.
I was about to say that. The apparently Leo loves, those spheres of movies, but...
other ones.
But even in that movie, they portray them as the bad guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good. It's good that you get a movie that's surrounded. Just based on the trailers, it looks like it's just we are American Indians and we are living peacefully, and then you fucking weirdos came here and fucked everything up. The fucked everything up. So I think that's a good. I mean, yeah, that mostly everywhere in the world. That's what happened.
I saw, like, again through the grapevine of the internet with no prior research or further research that the Commanders were being sued by like an actual Native American tribe for removing that shit because the person that was depicted on their logo was like a real chief.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were like, oh, like generic Native American. It was like literally a guy.
If we would, I mean, it's so dumb just because like it was all the fucking just like people that were like you need to remove this now, like, and it was just like people and then like
everyone else,
and then what do you know? A couple years later, like the American Indian tribes are like, hey, like that was good publicity for us.
Maybe change the name from Redskins.
Yeah, like
keep the
logo.
Should actually
I think with the new owner of they're gonna change the Commander's name, like White Calf.
So
Blackfeet chief named White Calf. Unification. Yeah, unification symbol among Native Americans.
Like, just change the name. I know the Chiefs were already taken.
Yeah.
But, and come on, think of something else.
I mean, the FSU Seminoles, like, they love that logo. And, like, the Seminole tribe has said, like, multiple times, like, I mean, they got, I think what people were saying at the time was, like, oh, you never got blah, 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 like, the permission at the beginning, which is just, like, okay, like, fair, but, like,
were they mad about it retrospectively? Yeah, I don't think so.
It's one of those situations to where, like, you know, us being, like, who we are, like,
white.
White dudes, like
white people from the main line. But claim Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's just like let's just not even like stick our neck into it because like we'll always just be like, oh, who gives a fuck? And it's just like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like that's fine with me.
Why would our opinion even matter?
Yeah, literally. Like why? Like the people's opinions who think. The people who think their opinions matter about everything.
I think it matters because they're being mad for a different group, but you're really just like a white chick from Delco.
I just hate people because this is something like that I've come across of like I hate when people like speak for me and they like think I know they think
as an individual.
Yeah, like as an individual, like they like it's happened at like. I guarantee you, like, a lot of people could relate to it of, like, at work, and then, like, people say something of, like, oh, I just, like, threw your name into the hat of something, and I was just like, like, why would you do that? Like, I don't like this at all. So, like, that's, like, my number one pet peeve, and it's just, like, I just hate when other people, like, speak for me, so it's just, like, why would I try to speak for anyone else? Because I don't know. Like, I don't know shit about fuck. I don't
know poop about shit.
Yeah, I don't know poop about shit. So I mean, I don't have the fucking... All I have is a Twitter that I follow, like, 40 people on. So, like, and I just send...
I want to use X, formerly known as Twitter, more. But I still am just, like, Instagram... it's all meme pages and like stupid shit.
Yeah, you fucking...
I don't post to Instagram ever.
You fucking all of our ADHD minds are like...
Dopamine doses where I just watch goofy videos and poop. And watch sports updates. That's pretty much it.
That's basically all. I mean, that's all my Twitter is for me.
Yeah.
But
I just don't feel like... It's like switching between... I feel like half the reason why people don't switch between... Apple Music or Spotify is because they don't want to like have to recreate all their playlists, even though there are tools to like transfer them back and forth.
I mean, it's not even worth that much effort.
I
mean, I have fucking 3 playlists that are. I mean, one of them's 3,000, and then the other two are 1,000, and it's just like, I don't want to fucking do all that.
3,000? I mean, how many years do you think that is? Like,
I started that Spotify account 8th grade, so what is that, 9 years? 10 years?
I guess so.
Yeah, so
because, well, actually, yeah, 8th grade, you were probably like, what, 13?
Well, high school and college is 8 years. We're like a year removed from college. Like 9 years. Yeah, 9-10 years. Damn. But that's
just take another decade to recreate it.
That's something that
on an identical platform.
People, I feel like this is like a good discussion point because like a lot of people like they ask me for like the music I like and like what I'm listening to right now, and it's just like, bro, I have 3 playlists. You can literally go see. Just go scroll to the bottom, and I click on one of those songs and I queue like probably 10 songs, and then I just let the playlist take me from there. And they're just like, how do you do that? And I'm just like, what do you mean? And they're just like, they all just think it's not organized, and I'm just like, dude, trust me. If you ask me to find a song in my playlist, I could go find it. Yeah. Like, I know exactly where it is. And they're just like, well, what if I'm, like, feeling a certain mood? And then I'm just like, well, there's a thing on Spotify to where if you go to your, like, songs, there's, like, things at the top that say, like, pop, rock, country. Fucking do that. Like, that's what I do when I need to listen to a specific thing.
It's like people with really messy rooms, and you're like, oh, like, how do you know where everything is?
Yeah.
No, I know where everything is.
Yeah. Everything has a spot. Yeah, I've always been like that.
That was probably really loud.
But I know, one of my roommates in college, he would always, like, he would make, like, a new playlist, like, every week or two. And he would, like, try to get me to, like, be in on it. And I was just like, bro, that is so much work. Like, I can't, my music for me just needs to be like as simple as possible, just because like I can't, like, because if I listen to a song that's like I feel that's like rock and country, it's just like, oh, what the fuck am I gonna put in my rock playlist or am I gonna put in my country playlist? I just do basically what I do is just like, if it's beats and like not really like real instruments, that goes into the rap playlist, and then like real instruments go into the rock playlist, and like rock and country basically together. But like I've never understood like making a playlist and then like after a month just be like new playlist, and then like 2 weeks later a new playlist, and it's just like
just whatever floats your boat. Like if anyone gets like fired up about like, oh, like how do you have a 3,000 song playlist, like
yeah,
I'm just listening to my friggin' music, man.
That's a thing
what does it matter to you?
That's a thing that would make me mad, I guess, of it, was just like people would be like, I'm doing it wrong, and I'm just like, what the fuck does that mean? like there's no like wrong of like putting a playlist together. Like it's like what you that's a thing of like of just like general of like people just being like way too nosy and like up in people's business. It's just like, bro,
you don't do this thing that can be done 1,000 ways exactly like me.
Yeah. like that's
gonna berate you online.
I mean,
that's too much.
That's basically all everything is. But the music's in a fucking just weird spot right now. Rap, I haven't listened to like a full album. I haven't really
listened to any new music
in like forever. I can't tell you the last full album I listened to, but it's been a while. But I feel like this is like
it really may have been Dawn FM. I feel like there's probably other ones prior or after that, but I think Dawn FM was like the last one that I was like really hyped for the album to come out, and then when it dropped, I listened to it right away. I've just been off my grind though. My music listening to grind. I think I'm gonna have really high music listening to numbers depending on how they count podcasts, as if it's just like listening to stuff or if it's a separate count.
Oh, Spotify, it's like for the recap, it's just like all the
audio you've listened to,
all the audio together, and then they do split it up. Okay, so the last album I listened to that released was Travis Scott. And then right after that, I just listened to 2 Suicide Boys albums back to back. But what I do a lot to find my music is I just type in, like, a mood or just, like, sometimes, like, an object into Spotify, and there's always a playlist for it. Yeah, it's like stupid shit like that. Music. Yeah, and, like, you just find it on Spotify, and, like, it's great every single time. So that's how. So I just have, like, a bunch of shit in there, like, from Offset's new album, fuck them, and them bitches, everybody, fuck them. That's
Toby's back down. Probably should let him out soon. But I feel like the way that I listen to music is probably like would be judged the most, because I'll like want to listen to one song, and then from there, like I would do this like when I would have like parties at Penn State, and I would be on aux, like where I would just like cue like 3 songs and nothing else, and then from that point on, like it would either be like depending on the reaction to the people that were at the party or like who was listening to it, or like how many people were there. I would just like know, like I could think of a song right away that like, ooh, like I want to listen to this after this. Like this would be perfect to chase this current song.
Yeah.
Next, like then I would think of 4 more to queue, and like that's what I'll do when I'm listening to songs by myself. Where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start with this one because I just want to hear it because for whatever reason this song stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, every single song will influence the next one I queue, but I don't know what it is until I listen to the song.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, that's probably like the most. I feel like that could be judged the hardest by people.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like what the fuck? Like there's no structure at all. You don't even have a playlist. You don't have a 3,000 song playlist. You don't have a 20 song playlist for that month.
That
you're just like.
I do notice that, and that does. I mean, like, it's so. I mean,
I've never had any complaints though.
Yeah, but I've just held them back, but just because I'm nice. Yeah. But I was. My thing,
is this guy doing?
My thing is just like since I mean, shout out to the original like Gunk Basement. We no names, but the original Gunk Basement. I was always the aux guy, and I just got it down to so much of a science that like whenever I'm not on aux, I pay attention a lot to the music and like. And, like, dude, you're not the worst that I've ever seen. There's some people that, like the thing that drives me nuts is, like, people are like, let me cue a song. And I'm just like, what is it? And they're just like, no, I don't want to show you. And I'm just like, just fucking tell me. Yeah. And then
I let them tell me, and then I'll cue it, and then, like, move it to, like, the very bottom.
No, the thing that drives me nuts is when they, like, when they won't tell you, they have to have the phone, and then they don't cue it, they just fucking press on it. That drives me nuts. And then it's just like...
I stopped. I happened one time, and then I never let it happen again.
After the, like, cue is done, then it doesn't go back to the playlist, it just goes back to that fucking one-click thing, and then the thing that also drives me nuts is, like, with that, is, like, if you were going through, like, the playlist shuffle for like a while, then songs that I've already played will pop up again. It's just like god damn it, because it will reset the shuffle, and that would drive me nutso. So like there's sometimes, and obviously like wanted to be a DJ for a bit, and then COVID happened, and I was just like, yeah, fuck this, never mind.
DJing over Zoom.
Yeah, yeah, that never fulfilled. But whenever I'm at a place and I'm not on aux, I just listen for the tendencies, and I'm just like, what is this guy like doing? Yeah. Like I can tell, because I can tell if they're they just click like songs. Oh, they have a playlist specific for parties. Oh, they're just listening to their playlist that they like. So like. I pay attention, and like you're good when your cue is on. Your problem is just
attention. I was gonna say
when you're not paying attention, it can go off the rails, and it's just like
especially when it's like a party and it probably starts at like
and like
9 or 10,
and
it's like it's like 1 o'clock, and I've just completely forgotten I even have a cell phone.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I literally be like, what the fuck is playing? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I'm on aux.
It's like the like saddest, slowest like
Yeah.
Luke Combs song,
Exactly.
And I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's just like, it's like, all right, well, now to go to his liked songs. And
Yeah.
Spotify doesn't always get
And
that.
it's like, it's like a weird thing now because I feel like college is like one of those points where a lot of people like find their like music taste, and so like now whenever we like go to places, like I'm like rarely like on aux.
Yeah.
So it's like funny to see how like other people like, because a lot of the times I'll like hear songs that like I have in my playlist and I'm just like, oh, so they like
other people like this too.
Yeah, like they just kind of took these couple songs and then were just like, what other songs sound like this? And they just went from there. And so like, I have a lot of people say like, like my mom like a couple weeks ago she sent like a TikTok. It was like it was just like, if a girl has like, it was something about like, if a girl has like a good like old rock music taste, then like that their parents like them or whatever. And then I was just like, it was like something having to do like good daughter music taste is in direction to their parents, and I just like I just sent like the little star thing as a correction and just said older brother, because like my sister got like I'm going to say this. I'm going to claim her music taste. That was me. That was me driving her to school every single day, and she would make comments.
Like, what song is this? Or would she be like, you think?
I would see her on her phone do the Snapchat thing where you hold down the thing and it would pop up.
It's called Shazam or something.
Yeah, Shazam. She would Shazam it on her Snapchat. I would see that a lot, but. No, yeah, that's one thing that I've definitely like. I've said it to her. And I'm just like, well, I kind of started that, and then she would like. I think at first she like kind of like would be like, you know how girls are. They're just like, no, I did it on myself. So like
little sisters.
Yeah, little sisters. So that was that for a little bit, and then I was just like, yeah. I think I explained it well one time to be like, yeah, you probably would have found like this music taste eventually, but I heavily influenced that.
I accelerated the process.
So, I mean, and it was always, I mean, she would always be saying something in the morning when driving to school, because we would be late every day, and because it was like an art form, seeing how long I could sleep in before I was late. Yeah, that was. She would always get mad at me, and I would just be like, bro, there's such thing as a bus. Like, you can take the fucking bus. Like, I'm not waking up earlier for your fucking ass. So,
especially because you guys were. I mean, the high schools were like.
Yeah, I mean, I was a senior and she was a freshman. So, like, it was, but the thing it was the same thing with me and my brother. Like, I would be late every single day of freshman year, and then you would be late too. But that was the funniest time I got called into the office of like, he called me and my, who's the guy who got fired, left? Don't say don't say his name. But
he had a what was he, like the dean of students?
Yeah. That was an interesting situation.
That was a crazy time.
But he brought us in. Yeah, he called, and he was like the nicest out of all three of them.
The degenerate absences or whatever. Like, what was the word that they called? Or unexcused, maybe.
Yeah, unexcused absences. So he was like.
I wanted to call you degenerates, but.
Yeah, basically, he was just like.
Oh, getting a phone call.
Do you want to just answer that?
No, it's alright.
Alright. But, I mean, I gotta go piss.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We'll do closing remarks here.
But,
they called you into the office.
Yeah, they called us into the office, and they're like, they're just like, well, it happened. We're supposed to call you down in the office after 3 inexcused lateness. you guys are at 17. And he was just like,
can't even be mad.
He was just like,
pull the wool over our eyes.
He was just like, so
17 is crazy.
Yeah. So we were like, he was just like, so basically you're supposed to get a detention after the warning, but we just never gave you a warning. So here's your warning. And we were just like, fuck, because we just knew, because every single day, me and my brother, it would just be like, I wonder if today's the day. I wonder like when someone's gonna like say something to us, and then like eventually that day came, and I was just like, fuck, like they got us. Like they're
Show's over.
And then even after that, I'm pretty sure after that we still probably got up to like 30 in total, and I never got it to
detention.
And some
of them were like, 5 minutes.
That was I mean those were all bullshit.
Depending on who you ran into, you might get in trouble.
Yeah.
And it would count as a lateness, but you were literally 5 minutes late.
Yeah. And like half the time I just wouldn't like do it. Like I would just walk by them. I would just be like, I'm here. See ya.
If you can remember my name and write it down.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember that too.
And our older security guard, if you're a hot girl, he would let you in at like 7:45, and it was supposed to be closed at 7:40.
For context, this man was so comically old that
he couldn't walk.
I think two 6th graders, if they broke into our high school, would run wild.
They would break his legs,
they would beat the crap out of him. It might take one 6th grader. One larger 6th grader could easily take.
Bro, if you hit that guy, he would turn into dust.
He wasn't that nice, but he was like comically old. They were he would be in a chair from a desk in the hallway, and his walkie-talkie would be on the water fountain, and he would just be passed out, asleep in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So he was. I'm curious how he got that job, because he would not have protected us from anything. He couldn't stop. If two 6th graders wanted to do something, he would have no chance.
I swear to God, this was a topic that.
We'll wrap it up soon.
I was we were in German class one day, and this was when the whole school shooting, blah blah blah, all that stuff. I can't believe I just blah 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 school shooting, blah blah blah.
That was happening a lot during the 2016 time frame.
But we were talking about that. It was after one of the big ones, and they were just they basically in all the language classes were all right, let's get all the grievances out here, and maybe
by language, you mean foreign language classes?
Yeah, foreign language. So we're
you took German, I took Spanish.
Yeah.
I also had a conversation.
Sehr gut. So we were
just, es wunderbar.
Basically we were just das ist nicht gut. And they're just the question came up at the end. It was at the beginning, everyone, was oh, this is bad, da 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 da, and then the teacher asked her just do you notice any problems at the school that could be something that worries you? And I was just I raised my hand, and I hold on, right. I spilled all over myself like an idiot, but but basically I would the point of me in classes always were to be the what's that word called, the devil's advocate. Yeah. I may not have agreed with a lot of the stuff that I said, but I just had to say it. But
get that other perspective in.
Yeah.
It gets too
because we know a lot of people in our school what they're like. So
both ways.
So I was just so I know no one else will say this, but I have to say this. Our one security guard is 1,000 years old. Yeah. What is he going to do
retirement age doesn't even really begin to describe how old this is.
If this person,
if they said he was 90, I would have been oh.
Yeah. If someone were to enter the school, nothing would happen. It would have to be a teacher.
I think it would have to be a teacher, and I think that's when they added the other security guard.
That's when
it was a former state trooper.
Yeah, the next year they brought in another guy.
hate to shit on the short kings. I'm not a skyscraper, but I was taller than this guy, and I am not very tall.
Yeah.
As far as like I'm not near 6'5" or anything.
Brother. Before I will say on the internet plenty of times I'm 5'10". In reality, I'm like 5'9"3/4". So with shoes on, I'm 5'10". So
with the Tims.
Yeah, with the Tims on, I'm like 5'11", 6 foot. I'm a fucking behemoth. But do not fucking yell at me for saying I'm 5'10". 5'9", 3/4". Say 5'10", because I'm insecure about my height. My brother is 6'6" tall. Oh, so that is a good, that I feel like that's a good, like, just kind of note to just about my entire life, is that my brother is 6'6" and I'm 5'10". So that's basically all this amounting to.
On that note, I think that concludes our first episode ever of Makes Too Much Sense. I think that was pretty good. I had a great time.
Yeah.
We didn't get to everything necessarily, but I think what are we at, like
2:30
on the dot. That's pretty impressive. That we did it perfectly. But
I think the one thing that was good, hopefully all of our levels are good.
Yeah, like
and
audio. I realize now, like as I looked at the camera, we can see ourselves over here. So that's probably why Nolan's been better at looking directly at the camera, whereas like I'm like looking more this way towards
yeah.
So we might have to make some little adjustments like that. And I don't know if we've been fidgeting with things on the desk.
Yeah.
So if the audio is a little off, I mean, it is the first episode. Fucking deal with it. Come back next week and see if we improved it. Probably not. We'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah. If please like, subscribe. Any business inquiries, any sponsors. Literally $1 might get your name shouted out at this point. It's the first episode, so we're not very picky. And once our 60-minute episode comes out, it's going to cost like $1 million to get on the show. So.
And
contact, the email will be in the description, makestoomuchsensepodcast@gmail.com.
I will make a Twitter eventually.
Yeah, we'll make a Twitter. There is an Instagram, but I probably won't be editing any. I just made the account.
Oh yeah. Do some clips.
We'll see
maybe.
if we'll do any clips probably down the line.
Yeah.
If we get like a Jamie.
Yeah.
Basically.
You're like Jamie.
I am the Jamie, but like it's also like I have to like do this while simultaneously doing the podcast. So
yeah.
Yeah.
When do you think we should put these out? Thursdays?
We'll see. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, right now this is so like.
Hey,
the whole point of this was that we don't have a schedule, so we can just do it whenever the fuck we want. But we also I want to do it like once a week. Ideally.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll probably like it's Monday right now when we're recording this, so I think Monday, depending on how much editing this will take, probably not any. Hopefully.
I know most
Friday.
main podcasts are Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So let us know in the comments which day you want this to come out.
Yeah.
And it won't be Monday because that's when we record it. So pick something else.
I prefer with like Thursdays.
Thursday, Friday sounds good. We'll see.
Friday's a little weird though, because then everyone's all weekend and they don't really listen.
I listen to podcasts.
That's actually true.
A podcast that I listen to comes out on Saturday.
Ooh.
So we'll see.
But yeah, we've been goof gunging in the Gunk Lounge.
Gunk Lounge, great. We'll see what new additions we get to the lounge.
Right here will be Tiger Woods in his Sunday red.
Hopefully, extra hydration. You made a pretty good day.
I crushed this Smart Water.
Yeah.
And this entire coffee.
Got started the body armor.
Like halfway through the body armor. I need a fucking piss like a racehorse.
Yeah, right.
Like
I'm sure Toby does too. It's been 2 hours and 30 minutes since she's been outside. So.
Damn, it's dark as fuck.
I know. It's also daylight savings and it's 5:30. So. Makes Too Much Sense, episode 1.